Yo, creeping in the dark, life nocturnal, dark and dark, both paths arboreal to terrestrial. Sticky toes gripping forest students that explore. Listen close, Gecko podcast, that's knowledge galore. Reptile talk, host Anthony and Jason. Trade secrets flow, no time wasted. From tropics to town, it's sight raining. With every chat, reptile game changing. Escaping heat waves, tan under rays, desert sand echoes, sun blazing days, little hustlers, camouflage a maze, catch them speaking.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
That's what I'm talking about. So today, we got a superstar in the house, superstar Herper in the house.
Global traveler.
Right? Just posted a new YouTube video. That shit was fire. Frank, dude, welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. No, let's go ahead and get into. So, how'd you get into this, man? Like, I heard a couple podcasts. Like, you were almost kind of born into this shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, when I was a real young kid, my dad had a pet shop, and so I was in and out of a pet shop quite a bit. And then, in my teenage years, he was a contractor, and he stayed friends with these people. So he was doing a lot of work in their pet shop. Whenever they were building new racks or building out a fish area or whatever, he'd be working, and I was working with him. So I'd be in there all the time. And yeah, they're like family friends. And so I was able to just be back in there and holding all the reptiles. And when the dude would, he'd be ordering from, back then I don't even know who it was, LA Reptile or freaking Glades or whatever. And he'd be like, hey dude, like you see anything on the list, like that looks cool from your books or whatever. And I'd, be just tripping out on all the different shit you could get. And yeah, like my dad just he was always into that kind of stuff. He was more a tropical fish guy, but he was just always into the weird animals. So like, it would be no surprise. Like my dad would just, bring home a parrot or whatever. Be like, yeah, now we got a parrot. Now we got 2 parrots. And like, oh, now check this fucking big snake out or whatever. And I'd just be like, yo, that's awesome. And then he'd get me books, start looking at the books. And then my mom was always she wasn't into reptiles or anything, but she's just always been very supportive of like whatever I do, whether it be skateboarding or reptiles or whatever I'm into. So she always just was down for me to have stuff. But she also really kind of instilled like the whole research thing for me. Just because like a quick story I remember, man, like one of the very first, I don't know how old I was probably 9 or 10 years old. And I was reading these reptile magazines and stuff. And it was like, or not even, this was before Reptile Magazine. This was like, I don't know when it was, mid 90s. I'm 45 years old. I'm old. So I'm reading these books and shit. And it's like, oh, you can keep, when you get a big collection, you can keep stuff in shoe boxes and all this stuff. And I'm like, fuck, dude, the shoe boxes are cheap as shit. I got one from fucking Payless the other day, man. So I get this gecko, man. I put it in a freaking cardboard shoe box. Obviously, within 2 hours, that fool's gone. And I'm like, opening the box. I'm like, shit, where'd it go? And you're like, how are people keeping these things in these boxes, man? Obviously, they're not talking about shoe boxes. They're talking about, freaking plastic boxes that go in these racks. But I had no idea. I was freaking 8 or 9 years old. But so she was pissed. She was like, dude, full knucklehead. Like, what are you doing? Like, you did shoe box? Like, about these animals, bro. They're going to come right out the lid and leave. Like, so she was like, you're not getting another lizard period until you like do some serious research. And, whatever the next animal that you may be able to get, you're going to straight up write me a report about it. You're going to learn all about it. You're going to learn about its habitat. You're going to learn how to keep it before you're even allowed to get it. And so that kind of like set the tone of like researching stuff. And I mean, I'm not great like in terms of like, I'm the same. Like I go to a freaking reptile show or whatever and I see something that I want that I don't know about, I'm still going to get it. But, she just taught me the research thing that's key. And that's kind of where that came from. So both my parents were super supportive. Growing up where I live in Santa Cruz is like, it's an outdoor place. It's redwoods. It's the beach. I mean, we don't have a ton of reptiles here, but it's just like, you raise your kids outside here. I was raised outside, barefoot, fucking in the forest, like that kind of stuff. So it was always looking for shit and digging around, flipping logs. And yeah, my dad would always, he'd be at the job site, dude, and he'd be pulling out a foundation or whatever. And he'd find some crazy salamander and he'd bring it home. Let me keep it in a bucket for a while. And then we lived backed up to the forest, and so he'd be like, once you lose interest, or once you're not taking care of it, or once you've had it long enough, we'll let it go again. So that progressed into me keeping freaking all kinds of stuff, all kinds of reptiles, and I mean, here we are. It's like playing with friggin', goes from playing with Hot Wheels to getting a big Power Wheel to getting your first whip to friggin', pushing a nice car. So it's the same thing. I never shook it, never got out of it.
It's an awesome way to live, man. Not for nothing, but your childhood is everything's very, very similar to mine, man. It's exactly how I grew up on the East Coast. Father's a contractor, never owned a reptile business, but was always into it, and my mother always supported it. It was, and my grandmother was always the one to buy me the books, So it's like, if you want this, I had the one to let me. I had the one that was always cool enough to bring me to go get it. And my father bred big snakes back in the 80s. So I kind of had, again, the same scenario, running around the woods barefoot, catching everything that could crawl. It was just like almost a natural curiosity. To this day, I'm in the woods with my dog all day. And I said this to myself real quick. I'm walking to myself and I'm like, what is the definition of being a herper if you by nature flip every rock everywhere you go anyway? What would I call being out herping if it's just what I do? It's what I do. No matter where I go, the first thing I do is look for what lives there. Just by nature and out of curiosity, I'm flipping stones, pulling bark off of stuff. I'm at the water's edge. I'm always looking for what's alive in this new place.
Yeah, man, you're a naturalist, straight up.
It's interesting. Very cool.
Full blown naturalist. I get it. It's just that wonder, that boyhood wonder of nature that just never leaves some people, man. Some dudes, some chicks, and some just people, they don't have it in them at all. They want nothing to do with it. And I don't understand that, because I want everything to do with it. I'm the same way. I mean, I've flipped these boards around my house a million times. I still flip them. I know exactly what's up. I go look at them.
No.
I'm still looking all the time.
Yeah. Anytime I go up north, I start going in there, looking under logs. Hell, that's where I started collecting all my isopods from. I was like, why spend $100 on some isopods when I get them down right here?
Yeah, I mean, you're in Phoenix, aren't you? Or Mesa or something? Where are you at?
Tempe.
Yeah, so you got Herping freaking real close, too.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go up north to go see if we can find some those Elgarai, the Madrone alligator lizards.
Yeah, Algeria. I mean, you can go down south and find them too. I mean, actually, where I've found most of those, I mean, I've found them up in like Prescott and Flagstaff and that area, but most of them that I found were down in the Huachucas and the Sky Islands, like down southeast of Tucson.
Yeah,
they're easier to find down there for me. Up in the mountains, they're tough, man. I mean, at least for me, I haven't found them that much up there. But when I go down like into the south, like down on the border and stuff, they're usually I can find them.
Okay, that's what's up right there. Yeah.
Those are fun lizards, man. Algeria kingi.
Yeah, I've heard like nothing but great stuff about these like our North American alligator lizards. I've heard nothing but great stuff about them compared to like the South American ones that we had like over in South America. Yeah. Like people have told me, it's like, dude, they so fun. I have never had a better time with a reptile than one of those. I was like, that's what's up. Definitely want to check it out.
People sleep on Algeria. Like Algeria is it's a pretty I mean, it's not a huge genus, but there's I don't know, 6 or so species of them. Like in my yard, I got 2 species, which is pretty dope. And it's actually really an interesting place, like right where I'm at in Santa Cruz, because we have a Algeria coralia, which is the live-bearing one, and then we have Algeria multicarinata, which is the one that lays eggs. And I mean, dude, I can find them in the same damn bush, which is a trip. It's like, yo, one of you is at the upper limits of your range in terms of like once you get too far north, that's why they start laying live babies, because the climate and the habitat's not working to lay eggs. And then the other one of you is at the further south end of your range where it gets too warm for you to hold babies. And so it's a trip the way that kind of right here is where those 2 animals meet. But it's pretty dope. And I mean, dude, I caught one yesterday out by the barn. They're cool. Like people should keep them. They're neat.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
So I would say, what's your? I mean, are you a big bug collector?
A bug collector or book collector?
Book.
A book. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I have.
What's that latest
big
one?
Book collector. I'm actually like, these days I feel like books, I'm more stoked on books than live animals even. And I mean, I never
Okay.
thought that I would spend, $1,500 on a book, but it's happened. And like, so
Damn.
I'm very, very into, I'm very into the history of herpetology. And so like these books from back in the 80s, way before cameras, dude, these lithographs and these plates that these fools used to draw back then are so sick. Like, it's so funny to me because I was always about like, oh, it's got to have all the pictures and shit in it. Now when I'm buying a book, I'm like, I don't want any pictures. That shit needs to be 1800s and it needs to be the sickest plates, and like that's what I'm about.
Yeah.
I'll grab some in a few minutes. I'll show them to you. But like, yeah, so I'm trying to build up my library. I mean, I probably have close to 1,000 books.
Damn.
And yeah, I mean, I've got the whole range. I try not to have a lot of books on like keeping stuff in captivity, because that it's like, for me, that stuff is, you can glean all that information from these field guides. I mean, you can get most of the information you need from field guides or from critical thinking, or for me personally, like traveling, like field guide. I mean, captive husbandry books, they just get old real quick, and I don't see the value in. I mean, some of them I see the value in, especially some of these really, really old ones are a trip, dude, because you read them and you're just like, yo, you guys are so fucking wrong with the shit that you're telling people to do. And I mean, this
Oh
is
man.
printed literature, which is, it's a trip. So I kind of like to look at those. But for the most part, man, I'm doing field guides, and I'm doing, old historical stuff, and scientific papers. Like you were showing on one of these podcasts, how you print them all out and like have a thick old binder of them. Like and I'm not trying to say that what you're doing is not dope. What you're doing is absolutely dope. I try to get the originals of them, and it's difficult. It's a pain in the ass, and it's kind of pointless unless you're really into this. Like, there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
I just like to have them. I like the smell of the damn things. Like all these old books, man. I like everything about them. The leather binding is super sick. They've got these killer little book plates in them. A lot of them have weird notes and shit. I have some that were written by really famous scientists. Like, it just, that stuff gets me really stoked these days.
Where are you finding that type of book, those types of things?
There's multiple places online you can find them.
There is.
There's Abe, like ABE books. That's a good one. There's a couple Facebook groups where there's a few dudes who constantly buying and reselling books. Okay. And then friends, man. Like, I try to, if I see someone who's really, really into collecting books and stuff like that, I try to, hit them up and just be like, a little small talk and whatever. And then, you just be like, yo, you got, if you ever have any extra books or you're going to get rid of something, let me know what you have. And I mean, I got friends all over the world that they'll send me books. I'll buy books from them. And yeah, man, just like collecting books. I got one right here. Like this monster. This freaking thing's huge.
That shit look like it weighs like 100 pounds.
Yeah, this thing's beast. But yeah, this thing has got, let me find some plates real quick. Show you real fast.
I've got some old plant books that have those plates in them and stuff, man.
It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing.
I haven't found a reptile book with them yet, but damn cool how they do it.
They're freaking, dude, they're expensive, but it's worth it, man. It's like, this is history, bro. Like, this is super, super crazy history. Like this.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah.
That's just so hand-drawn. And,
yeah.
I mean, that's from, what is that one from? That was from 1912, so that's a little bit more recent. But I mean, a lot of these authors, man, write these books. Like, it's pretty dope because you'll be like, wait a minute, like Barberi, like Thomas Barber wrote that, and there's Aristologa barberi, there's friggin' Spiridaculus barberi, there's different species that are named after these scientists. Yeah. So you're getting a lot of work that these guys write, and I mean, dude, you just learn so much from reading these books, and it's tough to read them at first if you're interested in it, it's easy. You blow through those books. If you're not, it's pretty tedious shit. But like, bro, you learn so much. I mean, you learn so much about just the history of them, and then how the genuses and the genre of these geckos, or even reptiles in general, have just been broken down, named, renamed, canceled out, freaking matched with this one, done it. Like, it's crazy. It's kind of like, I don't know. Once you read enough like captive keeping books, you're like, I get it. and you just kind of want to move on to some of this other stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't even keep them, Frank. And first of all, my big spiel with that is it's not that they don't have their place for certain people, but I'm a big nature guy, like I said. When I keep an animal, I want to know how it lives in the wild. I don't give a shit how Joe keeps it. I don't care what Mike does. I don't care what these people do. I want to know what nature does. What does this thing evolve to live in? Where has this thing evolved to thrive? I don't care what people do in captivity. That's my obligation and my goal to recreate its natural environment in order to get my animal to thrive. So no matter where I am, what location, I have to do that, and that takes a million different things, right? But once I have nature, then that's I got what I need. You know, it's the
Exactly.
reading how to keep things in captivity, like you said, dude. I don't even know how to explain it, articulate it, but it gets so monotonous and so old and so it's just like all it's just there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Yeah,
Anyone with the littlest bit of common sense could have figured that out on their own.
it's monotonous, like you said.
Uh,
It's monotonous as hell, man. I mean, I get it if it's some super, obscure species, but it's like even then, it's like, I mean, critical thinking, man. Use your head. There's enough of those books.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's not really crazy information on a lot of these rare reptiles that we do keep, so it's more about just trying to go, like you said, that critical thinking, go look at different places or different websites or like you
Absolutely.
said, iNat. I use the hell out of that thing
I
just
was
so I
gonna
can,
say, man, you get iNaturalist,
yeah.
get a damn freaking get a weather app on your phone.
Yep.
Check those iNaturalist. Check the iNaturalist pictures. Check the substrate. Check the habitat. Go to Google Earth. Try if you can. You can't always, but try to do some street view around that area.
Yeah.
Check the weather throughout the year. I mean, that's
Yep.
you got friggin' 80% of the information you need right there. Like,
That's
pretty
most of what I do
Absolutely.
too.
yeah,
Especially like with these pterodactylists that, it's like, all right, where'd you come from? All right, Sri Lanka. All right, boom. Start putting that stuff into my weather app. Boom. Okay. iNat, let me get some pictures, let me get coordinates. So now I can really dial it in. And, it's no,
that's why you'll be successful with that stuff because you're doing the right thing. You're not sitting there freaking chatting. Oh, how do you do it? And how do you do it? How do you do it? It's like, bro, it's fucking do the research, do the legwork, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
there. It's all there.
Definitely.
So at what
What's that?
point
Go ahead, Ant.
At what point did you say, "All right, I've seen all I need to see in captivity, man. It's time to hit the air and start traveling."
I mean, I've always been herping, and I've always kept animals. So to me, and I've talked about this. I think on I don't want to go too long winded on this, but like to me, it trips me out that like you said, like what is a herper? Like to me, like a herper, like it shouldn't be two separate things. Like to me, it's like yo, you keep reptiles, you go look for reptiles. It's the same damn thing.
Mm.
Like you cook food, you eat the food. Like it's just it's the same thing for me,
Oh,
man. It's
Facts.
so I've always been like, okay, so I can keep these, and one day I'm gonna go see you guys in the wild. I can't afford that yet. I'm a kid, but I can do this. I can get in the car and drive down to the desert. So I mean, once I was, I think I was probably 15 or 16 years old, is when I would actually like. I had a buddy of mine. He's in a lot of my videos. His name's Greg, but he's a little older than me, and he was just like, he's like, dude, I'm going to the desert. See if your mom will let you go. I was like, yeah, because I was like 15 or 16, and she was like, all right, do it. And yeah, he took me down to the desert and just freaking found our first, collared lizards and gopher snakes, rattlesnakes. Just opened my eyes to that. And I mean, after that, it was like that was all that mattered. Was like, I'd have my collection at home, but at least once a year, man. April, May comes around. I'm hitting up Greg. Greg, we going to the desert? We going to the desert? We're going to the desert. So we go down to the desert. And then it just got more comfortable being down there. I started going by myself if he couldn't go, or I'd go with other buddies. And then, yeah, my parents, they'd be like, oh, we want to do a family trip this year. And where do you guys want to go? And I'm always they're like, do you want to go to Hawaii? I'm like, fuck no, dude. Let's go to freaking Costa Rica. Let's go somewhere where there's animals. I mean, no offense to Hawaii. There's nothing there. So I'd always just, I'd be wanting to go to, yeah, Mexico or Costa Rica or freaking Belize or the Bahamas or somewhere that was like, they want a family vacation. So it's like, let's go somewhere tropical, but let's also go somewhere where there's going to be animals.
It's
And
awesome.
so those were kind of my first, like not necessarily overseas, but like international trips where I go down there, get out in the jungle, get comfortable being out in the jungle. And, my parents would always be like, you can look at guides and see if they want to take you out. And I'm like, no, I don't need any of that shit. I just need a trail and a flashlight. And
There you go.
be dope if you guys want to come with me because it's sketchy at night by yourself, especially when I was younger. But yeah, man, I just went out there and I just wanted to find the thing. So me knowing that, like, I'm sure it's like this for you guys too. Like when you know that like you're there, like me knowing that I'm in the habitat for something, like that's almost enough. Like even if I don't find it, walking down that trail, being like, dude, they're here. I might
Yeah.
not find them, but they're fucking here.
Yeah, and you get the well. All right, before I start talking about this stuff, we did get a question in the chat from Kat. She asked, "Is using scientific names for geckos more important than using common names?" Because she's an arachnid person, so no, they always use scientific names. I like to use scientific names for most of my stuff too. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use common names ever. I don't know a lot of the common names, and I'm not trying to like, well, I'm a scientist guy, but like, I've heard you guys talk about it with other people. Like scientific names, there's a binomial process for a reason, and the reason why we use scientific names is because you can automatically identify an animal without playing the whole velvet gecko, fucking
Yeah.
gecko, barking gecko, freaking this gecko, that gecko. It's just, if you're talking about barking gecko, so Underwoodosaurus millie, Tenepus garrulus, there's a ton of freaking barking geckos, and but if I say Tenepus garrulus or if I say Underwoodosaurus millie, you know what I'm talking about right off the bat.
Yeah.
And so I always use, I guess I'm used to using it, and I think that just like comes from the reading and all that kind of crap, and just talking to like my European friends and whatnot. They don't use common names. You can't even understand them using the Latin names anyways because it sounds so weird, and they can't understand me. But it just makes a lot more sense when you're talking like that. But I mean, I get the common name thing. It's easy, and it works for some species. Like, and if I'm talking about just like a leopard gecko or whatever, I might just say, yeah, he's like keeping leopard geckos. It's keeping a crested gecko. Or like Chihuahua is funny because like Chihuahua is like, I guess, the common name. It's like nobody calls it anything other than a Chihuahua. I mean, what are they going to call it? A freaking, what is it called? O'Shaughnessy's freaking mossy gecko or some weird ass name.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to answer your question, yeah, I feel like using the correct Latin is very important.
Oh, there you go. I mean, and so back to this, like going into the habitat, like you feel what it feels like in there, and so you know what you need to do when you're if you're keeping these reptiles, right? Just like when, like I said, I've been to Thailand and all these places, so I know what that shit feels like. So if I want to keep a tokay or something that's or my Cerdodactylus zebricus, I know what it feels like, so I know what this habitat should be when I make these designs. And
yeah, absolutely.
so just like
you've been there, and there's just something about it. There's something about it, and
oh yeah,
over all the animals I've kept, man, 100% of the time, if I have been to where they live, I just do better with them. There's just little things that you're just like, that's not right. I don't remember doing it. I don't remember seeing any of that. I don't remember feeling any of that. Like, there's just tiny little nuances that's like, you've been there, you just feel more comfortable keeping the animal. You really know, you've got your memories of finding the animals or finding, or seeing that habitat, and it's just easy after that. Like, for the most part, I mean, I fail here and there. There's stuff that I've freaking failed miserably, and I've been to the habitat multiple times, and I just can't do it. And I mean, there's always going to be species like that, but generally speaking, like once you've been there, I just feel like you just gain so much more of an understanding for how to keep the animal. And I mean, I think that's that should be everybody's goal in the first place, is to really understand all the aspects of the animal, especially if they want to keep them in a cage. Understand the animal, know the Latin, know the habitat, know the requirements, know everything you can about that animal. There's no reason not to. Like,
oh yeah,
know it all. There's absolutely no reason not to. Know the history. You can know where they're going in the future, what you think's going to happen, and like just learn it. It's rad to feel. It's rad, especially like kind of talking to reptile people these days, especially on the internet, and everybody's a fucking expert. Like, it's kind of like this. It's this pissing match, dude. And to come through and really be that expert and really know that history and know your shit start to finish, it's pretty comfortable. I mean, you can chop it up with anybody, and it's because I remember when I first started and being afraid to freaking email someone, or you'd see a big name at a reptile show and you're just like, I don't know, and not I don't want to look like an idiot, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. And it's, you know how to kill that? Learn, research, like, know
Oh
your
yeah,
animal.
definitely.
And then, you know, it builds confidence in your keeping. It builds confidence in your conversations, and just, you know, makes you feel good about what you're doing. It's not all that, there's not that doubt anymore. Like, fuck, am I doing this right? It's like, I know I'm doing this right.
I mean, even when you still like for me, I know even if I know I'm doing it right, there's still those times you're like, "Fuck, what
Yeah,
the
of
fuck?
course.
What did I do wrong?" Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm feeling that with my Haemophilus fasciatus. It's like, what am I fucking doing this shit wrong? No, and I talked to different folks here and there, but like, all right, is is this shit correct? Because like, well, right now I'm just not getting any production. I was like, maybe it's just the male. He's a little bit small. He needs to put a little bit more on him. Maybe I need to separate them. Wait another year or something like that. So, no,
Well, I
we
mean,
always got those. I got them last year. They were all.
you're
It was a
impressive.
proven. No, they said it was a proven pair, or actually, it was supposed to be a one. It was supposed to be a breed, but I ended up just getting a 1.1. He said that they've already produced. So I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? So no, so just
I mean,
playing
a
with
lot of
things here
times,
and there.
man, when you, what I've noticed at least is a lot of times, and it can work both ways. I've had animals in a terrarium that they're breeding great. They're like fucking turnkey, dude. They're just breeding, no problem. And then I change their terrarium up, or I sell them to somebody, or I send somebody out, and then they just don't breed anymore. They just stop.
Yeah,
And I've had other
yeah.
times
It
where it's
might
like,
it might just be a season off, but no, and it's just
yeah,
you
they get
keep
sprung up.
on. Yeah, just got to keep on trying until it something sticks. So
I have
is
other times though where you change it up, and then all of a sudden they breed animals that never would breed.
yeah,
And like I would think, like for you, like Homophilus fasciatus is a pretty straightforward animal. And I mean they're dry forest, like Tanzania, Kenya, and it's. I mean they're not. I mean if you got the parameters right, you should be good on them. I mean how you keep them?
yeah, yeah. So like I said, I got like good old hot spot. Like it's about
Yeah,
almost about 100 degrees. I got
right.
cork bark just all angled, so they
Mm-hmm.
got different places to hide. I don't know if it's just my substrate. I wanted to change out my substrate because some of it's a little bit too thick, so I wanted to get a little bit more finer so they can actually dig in there.
Yeah. I mean they're
But
gonna be up on the trees most of the time.
yeah,
I mean for me, for those kind of animals, especially the animals that come from like that kind of mosaic forest, like savanna type stuff, it's. I mean, they're used to a pretty dry, hot season, and then they're used to a pretty wet, hot
wet
season.
season.
It
Yeah,
never really gets super cool over there. I mean, up on some of those plateaus and stuff in Kenya, it can get cold. But I mean, for something like a Homophilus, especially fasciata, I would just maybe next season I'd give them a little cool down, little dry, little cool, and then once it's like time to breed, man. One of the big things that people forget to do is like pump the water, like a lot of humidity, a lot of heat, and then pump the food, like lots of food, dude. Because a lot of times in nature, what happens obviously is when the rains come and the plants are growing, the insects are popping, dude. And that's wake up or they come out of their, semi hibernation and they're just like, dude, there's tons of bugs. We're going to eat, and then we're going to breathe. And usually like apart from, the heat and the humidity being bumped up, when these animals see an abundance of food, that also tells them, let's go.
yeah,
So
yeah.
something to think about.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cool. That's what's up. Um, what's so? What is like? Let me ask you something, because I mean, you got a ton of fucking geckos, right?
Yeah, geckos and lizards. I mean,
Yeah,
usually right now I kind of go up and down. But
yeah,
yeah, usually have like 100 species, something like that.
yeah. So what like? So what are your when you actually looking for like something new? What is like some kind of requirement for you? Like, what are you looking for when you're trying to get something new?
I mean, my thing right now is like I mean, I think I'm pretty jaded, I guess, but I like to get like for me, I want to get stuff that literally nobody else has, and
Yeah,
I'm really not trying to like be boastful about that. It's just like there's something for
but that
some
what makes
reason.
you. That's what makes.
Yeah, especially right now in like I guess my career of keeping reptiles, it's just that like I just want that shit that no one has. And it's not even like, I mean, you guys see, like I'm not posting all these photos of it and shit. I'm not that dude. I want to have it
No,
and I want to see it. And dude, it can be the most whack little brown gecko, dude, that looks so lame, and I'm just psyched on it. And that's a lot of what I have. Like a lot of the stuff that I have is it's not
yeah,
something you'd look at and be like, dude, that's dope. You'd look at it and be like, fuck that thing's whack. How much did you what? Like you'd be tripping on it, like and that's what I'm into, man. Like I mean, like the genus Phylodactylus, man, there's 60 some odd species or more, and nobody keeps any of them. And that's a trip, bro. That trips me out. There's a lot of species of Phylodactylus. And I mean, it's so I like Phylodactylus. I have, I think, 5 or 6 species of them. And I'm into Phylodactylus. I'm into, some of the old Paroidura that never come in anymore. I've got Oviceps and Lahatsara and stuff like that. And I'm super into these lizards, like really, really into these South American lizards. The genus Diplolamus and Leolamus and Pristodactylus they're all these really wild, like temperate lizards that come from Argentina and Chile. And in Santa Cruz here, I'm able to keep them outside. And that's
nice.
Really changed my whole life in terms of keeping reptiles. It's got me to the point where I'm like, yo, I don't want to have anything inside. It's keeping stuff outside, dude, is so sick. Like it's so dope. Yeah. It's so different. I don't even know what it is. Like you go out there and you just see these animals like living their best life in cages, of course, but like, dude, they're basking.
But they're getting that natural sun.
Man. They're moving with the sun. The shade's coming. They're having to, dude, it's so sick. It's so sick. And so I've been trying to get these animals that are impossible to get. So spent arm and a leg and lots of different ways to get these things, but it's been tough, but I've managed to get some. So I keep a bunch of those. And then, I mean, I keep some stuff that people keep, of course. Like I have Nephris amiae. I've got the friggin' Oidura. I've got, what else do I even have? Nose. I've got some Strophers. I got Intermedius and Ciliaris and Wellingtoniae.
Oh, you got Wellington. People have been looking for that shit.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
I don't post it all, man. I got my things, and it's also kind of fun when people are, that I have a little bit of fun with that. When people are like, "Oh, those are gone. Those aren't in captivity." It's like, well, they may be. They may be in my house. I don't know. And that's fun because you can read the writing on the wall with a lot of that shit. You can see that happening. Like with your Gecko Ella, bro, your Cerdactylus, like that's the kind of shit where those things it takes a couple of years of people not paying attention to those things and they're gone. And they're not coming back. It's like Homophilus fasciata. Those things used to be freaking $5, bro. Like
exactly.
Giveaway geckos, man. They come in garbage, but now they're friggin' people are clamoring over them, trying to find them because Tanzania shut down. Kenya shut down. You can't get them anymore. And it's a nice, small size little gecko. They got a bunch of attitude, and people also trying to complete the set. It's like, oh, I got Wahlbergi and I got the Blazodactylus from Madagascar. It's like, what's next? Shit, I need to get fasciata. So, and then they need to complete their little set right there, which is something I like to do too. Like once I get a species or one species of a genus, it's kind of like, well, let's keep going with this. Let's get more of these. And I heard you talking about like Cerdactylus, and I was like, good luck with that, doggy. That's 360 so much.
Yeah, I know. That's why I keep saying like that shit keeps going up.
Yeah, it's going to go up. It's going to, as long as, with Lee Grismer out there, he's pretty species happy. He gets down. So yeah, it's gnarly, but, what else do I even have? I just sent my Cerdactylus over to Ian Polka because I was just over him. I didn't want to do him anymore, but I've got some Neuromastics that I still keep. I keep some beaded lizards, both subspecies of Heloderma horridum. Nice. And then I got some gecko species. What do I have? Xenosaurus. I've got Xenosaurus numenorum and Xenosaurus platyceps. Pretty good group of those. Yeah, different Phylodactylus. Got this one species from they got extinct from Guam, but Pyrrhochirus, which was like a literal dream for me to keep. It's this freaking tiny little yellow kind of house gecko, Lepidodactylus looking thing. They're only from that little island off the south coast of Guam, which is called Cocos Island. And then some of these other tiny little islands in Micronesia. This thing showed up, man, from some scientist guy through another dude. I got him, and I was just tripped out. I never thought I'd see these things in my life. And so, dude, you also I guess I'm patient, man. I've been doing this for a very long time. Like, no joke, longer than most of these kids have been alive. I've been keeping reptiles for 35 plus years. And so, you see a lot in that time frame, especially when you're like, dude, I've been living this shit for that long. And it's like, I don't want to get too wild with it, but like I've dedicated my life to this shit. It's not even like, it's weird to me, man. It's like a third arm or something, keeping reptiles. It's always there. It's not
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm going to get rid of them. I mean, I have those thoughts where I'm like, I want to get rid of fucking all this shit. I hate all of it. Over it. It's so much work. But it's just part of my life. It's like breathing air and drinking water, man. I got my reptile.
There you go.
Yeah, I tried it, man. I tried it, and because some stuff happened in life. I'm like, I'm gonna get rid of everything. I'm gonna just see what it's like, man. It lasted not long, and it felt like part of my life was missing. I just
Oh yeah.
not happening,
Yeah.
man. Not happening. It's just I
Yeah. I
don't
think I
care
stopped.
to.
That means that you're meant for it, man. You're here for it.
Yeah,
And
it's
in the background, you got all your cages and stuff like
again,
this.
it's odd. It's like kind of like you said. Some people are born with this thing, whatever it is, and some people ain't. It's not anything to me, but everything I am. It's hard to explain. I fish, I hike, I catch shit, man. It's what I do. I it's
Love it. I mean, I do the same. I think we're probably very similar. I'm sure all three of us are very similar. But like, yeah, dude, fishing, hiking,
it's-
catching lizards, keeping lizards, like raising my kids that way. Just
yeah, yes,
being that kind of dude, I think it's a way of life. It
yeah.
totally is, and I feel like I see a lot of these new keepers. I don't know if it's a way of life for them, and maybe that's
No,
why.
well, let's be real. It's not. It's not.
I was
There
gonna
was a
say that's
gap
kind of
in
why
parenting somewhere.
I stay on the back burner, is because I'm just
You
like, I
know,
don't know.
and it's not
I
their
love it.
fault.
I love
It's not their fault. It's a generational parenting thing, right? Like in our age, I'm 41, but let's just say that around our time, parents raised kids a certain way. You went outside, right? You go outside. There's no TV, Game Boys. Like I personally feel, and I don't beat around the bush, man. A lot of these kids grew up in front of a TV. They realized later on in life what they actually enjoyed, what they were excited about. Some of them find Red Sox. Great. God bless them. Awesome. But some people had no choice. We was just that's how that was our Game Boy, that was our television, that was our Discovery Channel. Outside, catch a ship, build a ship, playing cowboys and Indians, like building
Yep.
teepees, climbing trees, knowing what it was to get the wind knocked out of you at 4.5, 5 years old. Like it's 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 different. And again, I'm not knocking them. It's just with the whole parenting and culture in general, American culture, it's easier to raise your kids inside than it was for it's 10 o'clock. Where are your kids? It's I don't know.
Yeah.
it.
As soon as the lights turned off, as soon as the street lights turned off, get your ass back inside. That's what it was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
that's what. Yeah, I think our generation is. We had it.
Mm.
I think we
I'm
had it
not
a little bit
bashing
even
them.
easier than them because they have. We didn't have all the distractions. It was like, yo, go the fuck outside. There ain't
Yeah.
shit on
Absolutely.
TV. You want to watch TV? Like it wasn't like my daughters where they're just like, oh, I want to watch this and I want to watch that. I want to watch this and then I want to watch that. It's like, yo, you ain't watching anything except what's on.
Hey,
Like
right?
Channel 44.
Hell, most of the
whatever
time it was
cartoons on there. That's what you're watching.
yeah, shit. I couldn't watch it. My dad be watching some golf or something. Won't be watching it. He'll be like, he's like, I'm watching it. Knock the hell out. I'm like, dude, come on, let me just change it. He's like, no, get your ass outside. Go play some basketball or something.
He's like, what?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Try to steal the remote real quick. What are you doing? I'm watching that. He said, you was just knocked out, dude. Come on.
But I mean, I feel like, dude, that was to our benefit, because
Oh,
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
And the
kids
things
Yeah.
we
just have
did
so many
watch
distractions.
had value. Like I tell people all the time, like when I grew up, I used to want to be Indiana Jones, right? Like I used to want to be Indiana Jones or Jacques Cousteau, who was on TV Sunday mornings, early Sunday mornings. I mean, not to sound like a weirdo, but that was before my father woke up and opened a gun box and let us clean guns for fun. I mean, that's like just super different, weird way of living, and that
Yeah.
it's
Those were the good old days, bro.
it's
Yeah.
man, yeah. Hey, it
So do
is
you
what it
take
is.
your kids when you do these like when you go overseas or something, do you take your kids with you?
I don't take them overseas yet, like the big long trips. But like if I
Yeah.
do Mexico or something like that, like usually I'll take them. It just depends
Okay.
on like the trip that I'm gonna do. So like if I'm gonna drive down to Baja or something and go look for geckos and look for snakes and stuff like that, and I've got a plan to where it's like, yo, I'm gonna get a house. The house is gonna be on the beach, and the wives can kick it and do their thing, and then me and a buddy or whatever can go out and herp. Then yeah, I'll bring the kids for sure. But if it's gonna be like I'm gonna go down and we're gonna pay these local people to stay in a shed and eat freaking chicken water and go look for xenosaurs in a yard. Like I'm not hanging with
Should
these
stay
kids.
at home, man. There's certain
Like,
places you just don't put
Yeah,
put their
but
safety on the
to be
line.
completely honest, man, the kids would have been pumped because it's like there's other kids they'd have played and just done their thing, which would have been really cool. But it's just I can't be watching them. I got to go and find these lizards, and so they stay at
yeah,
home.
yeah, yeah,
I've taken
yeah.
my
You can't
wife
have.
on some pretty cool ones though.
Yeah,
She went to the Middle East with me once.
That's cool.
yeah.
We went
Well, that
down
was
to
the Oman
Ecuador.
one, right?
What's that?
That was the Oman one.
Yeah, she went on one of the Oman
Yeah.
trips. I've been to Oman 6 times, but yeah, she went on one of the
Damn.
trips.
Oh, sure.
I mean, that's the thing I'll do, man. Is once I kind of get in the zone, I'll keep going back until I found everything, and
Oh.
until I really feel like I understand what's going on. And at that time, one of my best friends, German dude Mickey, he was going to Oman a lot, and he was like, "Yo, you should come to Oman with me." So I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it." So we went.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just so fun. And him being in Germany, it's a pretty quick flight for him. So he goes like all the time. And my buddy Paul was like, he knows Mickey too. He's like, dude, let's go together. And I was like, all right. So we met in the Emirates and then flew down to Muscat, Oman. And our first trip, yeah, it was crazy. It was so eye-opening. I'd never been to like that full-blown Muslim country like that.
Mm.
It was a trip, really a trip the first time I went. And
Yeah.
just seeing all the stuff I've dreamed of seeing in the wild was insane. Like, you show up and it's, dude, you're right off the bat. Like Prosteris carteri, they're just fucking literally everywhere, all over the place. And that was one of my main targets. And, on the way there, you're kind of like, damn, I hope I find these, or I wonder if I'm going to find them. And it's like, sometimes you get there and it's like, by the time you're done, you're like, man, I could probably do without ever seeing one of those again. And I've seen so many of those damn things. But then, sometimes you miss out. Like, I think on my first trip, we didn't see a Euromastix Tomasi or Tomasai. We didn't see one, which was a bummer because I was like a big one that I wanted to see because I keep those. And so it took me a couple trips. I think maybe the second or third trip we started seeing them. But yeah, there's so many geckos and so many different snakes and stuff like that. And then there's new species, and we're always trying to find new species. And we know some scientists to where we can send, hey, we found this. What do you think? And sometimes they'll send back and be like, oh my gosh, that's probably a new species. Let's go look at it, blah, blah, blah. There was one species down there that there had only been like 4 or 5 found like in 100 years. And we found like freaking, dude, like 30 of them in like, I don't know,
Holy
half an
shit.
hour. So we wrote that paper up, and one of the scientists like pushed that through and got it published. So we published some papers out there just finding new stuff because not a lot of people now. Actually, I feel like more people go herping out there. But like 10 years ago, like when we first started, there definitely been some dudes that have gone out there herping, but it wasn't a real popular place to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
And being able to find that stuff. People keep in Prosteris carteri, and it's like, yo, you guys should go out there. It's one of the safest countries in the world. It's the safest country I've definitely ever been to. I've never felt safer just chilling. Like that place is ridiculously safe.
That's a big thing over there, is whether people feel safe or not,
Yeah. And I get it, especially with Western media and stuff. We're taught not to feel safe around Muslim people or being in that, fucking jihad land. Everyone's going to freaking blow you up and shit. It's like, it ain't even like that. I know that there's small bits of truth to that in other countries, but like Oman is none of that. Oman's the most, the biggest problem you're going to have there is walking down the street and trying to say no to every single person who wants you to come in and have tea with them. You're just like, yo, I can't be spending all damn day drinking tea, dude. Like, I'm trying to find reptiles here.
It's actually kind of, weird you say that. It's kind of messed up. I've never been to any countries like that, but, the media and people will have you thinking that these Muslim countries are super dangerous. And ironically enough, they're probably some of the most friendly people, right? Like real true Muslims are some of the most God-fearing, friendly, humble, polite people you will ever meet. They don't even care that you're not Muslim. They don't care. They do not judge. They are very, very, very peaceful people. I even see that with Mexico, right? Like people always tell you going to Mexico, which I have been to, is dangerous and the people are all, narco, whatever shit, man. Mexicans, like culturally, are some of the coolest, chillest, polite people you'll ever friggin' meet, man. Like
Totally.
it's
true. And that's another part of like that's another like, dude, that's another thing that you get from traveling. You get so much, you gain so much, like apart from the reptiles. Like, get to learn about like, yo, these people are so dope.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I mean, I
yeah.
have lifelong friends that we met on these tiny little islands out in the middle of the freaking like Aden Sea, like insane shit, bro. Like, I talk to these people all the time. We've stayed at their houses. I've met their families. Like, their wives have cooked us dinner. Like, it's insane. Like, you make friends with these people, man. And
Yeah.
so now, dude, when you go out to Oman and Mickey's been there so many times, dude. He'll hit up one of his buddies. He'll be like, "Hey, we're coming out. Can we borrow one of your cars?" Dude's like, "Sure." Just pulls up in like brand new Toyota 4Runner. Here's your car. Here's the keys. Take it for freaking 10 days, and it's like for free, bro.
Nice.
They're so kind, and it's just, dude. People should go there. It's so rad. It's so good for herping, and it's so easy to just cruise around. No one gives you shit. They don't speak English, but you figure it out. And the food really interesting and good and wild. And everybody would be breeding Prosteris carveri because it's like, dude, once you see how to keep them, they're easy.
Sure.
They're super easy.
Yeah.
Not
Definitely vouch for
to
all that.
undervalue anything you've ever contributed to the hobby, right? But from my point of view, one of your greatest contributions to the reptile hobby was at that gecko symposium where you were like, how many of you people went out and bought a gecko for this much? You could have bought a plane ticket and went to this place and seen them. And I really think because people have this whole thing with traveling misconstrued, man. They don't get it. For a price, for a set price, right? Like an animal you keep that may live and may die, you can actually buy an invaluable piece of time, right? Like you can travel and go somewhere that you cannot put a price tag on, see things that it's just not impossible. You just got to take action, you got to step up to the plate and say, this is what I'm going to do. It will change your life. It can literally change your life and change how you view this world that we all share if you just traveled, go see some things.
100%.
Like,
And
it's
I mean,
huge
that's what's
contribution.
so
Just
difficult
that
to
one
like
sentence,
understand.
bro.
It's like, why won't they? But a lot of them, man, it's dude, it's like you said, it's stepping out of your comfort zone. It's, dude, to a lot of people, the thought of doing that doesn't even compute. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to the Middle East. I'm going to jump on an airplane. What do I do when I get there? Like, what? Like, just no, it's not going to happen. And that's kind of like, I mean, that's why, and like, I guess if my parents raised me and we never traveled and it was just always just kind of like, stick around. If we do travel, we're going to drive down to Disneyland or we're going to freaking go see the grandparents, which we did. But that's kind of what I was trying to do, is just kind of open up people's eyes. And I mean, I'm not some freaking philosopher or poet or anything like that, but I've seen what it's done to me and to my friends. And I also know how much money people are spending on reptiles because sometimes they're sending that money to me. And dude, it's like, yo, bro, like, it's a lot of money. You could absolutely have a trip out of this money. But instead, you want your freaking, your 35th Leachianus, or you want another freaking pair of whatever you want. And it's just like, why don't you want to go and like that? I mean, I always pick on the New Caledonia people because they're the ones who are not doing it. With as many New Caledonian keepers as there are, New Caledonia should be like Disneyland.
It should be a herping hotspot.
It's full of fucking herpers, dude.
Yeah.
And it's not. I know very few people who've ever been to New Caledonia. I haven't been to New Caledonia. It's on my list, but I don't keep any New Caledonian stuff at this moment. I mean, I've kept all of it, but I don't keep any of it right now. But absolutely high on my list to go there and see those geckos. Like real high on my list.
Me too, man. They're in New Zealand, man. I gotta get to New Caledonia. I gotta get to New Zealand. Have you ever done New Zealand?
Not yet. New Zealand I haven't done. New Zealand's tough. I mean, I've planned out trips to New Zealand, and New Zealand it's one that I'll do, but it's more of I don't think it could be like a hardcore like herping trip. It would be more of like a vacation and let's poke around here and there, because the people in New Zealand are very, from what I've heard, they're really nice, but they're also very wary of people looking for reptiles and just poking around, and foreigners being out looking in the bushes and shit. They all just will immediately call wildlife and be like, there's a smuggler. We're all smugglers. We're all trying to take green geckos.
Yeah, right.
Which is, for the most part, wrong, but they're not totally wrong, I'm sure. And I've heard it's hard. It's not easy herping, which, I mean, that doesn't scare me away. It's just, I don't know, man. A lot of times you kind of got to like, especially like when I've got kids now and I'm kind of I'm in the mud right now with the kid phase. Like me and my wife, I got a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. So they're full-time jobs. And so my trips, right now, as you can tell by my channel, are kind of far and few between right now, and I gotta pick my battles. And so like New Zealand is definitely one I'm going to do. New Caledonia is definitely one I want to do. I'd probably do New Caledonia before New Zealand, just because I think of in terms of like what's the bang for my buck going to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shell out this much money, and I'm going to find like what am I going to see?
Yeah.
Because the plane tickets for both of those countries, they're fairly similar. New Zealand's going to be cheaper just because New Zealand has direct flights from the U.S. To get to Noumea, you got to fly to like Sydney or Brisbane or whatever, and then get on a plane back over to New Caledonia. And I feel like New Caledonia is the more bang for your buck. You're going to see more reptiles over there. Your chances of like big success are kind of higher. You know, you can get out to Isle of Pines and just literally post up there and have a chance to see freaking Leachianus and crested geckos and freaking Bavaya. And didn't they find a freaking Eurodactyloides over there? I can't even remember, but
Yeah. Yeah.
like you got your chances are higher than, you know, you fly into freaking Auckland or Christchurch or whatever, and then you got to drive a couple hours, and there's a decent chance you might see like two species of gecko, and maybe. So it's like, I mean, you weigh your options, dude, and that's kind of why it was like when it comes time to like, yo, let's do a trip. It's like, you know, Australia made sense for me, even though I'm not like a huge Australia gecko guy. Like I've kept all of them, but right now in my hobby, I'm not keeping all of them. But there's a lot I want to see. I want to see. I mean, when you keep geckos your whole life, like, dude, even though you don't keep certain animals, it's like, I want to see a knobtail in the wild. Hell yeah! Like I don't even think they exist in the wild until I can see one. Because a lot of these animals, man, that's kind of how it is. It's like I can't even picture that little fucking crazy looking creature being in the wild. So I want to go see it. And so like a trip like that to Australia makes sense because it's like, okay, I can pay a flat $1,000. I can be over in Perth. I can do a long drive, and there's a chance. There's 50 or 60 different species that I'm going to be able to see. So planning out your trips like that is a lot easier than like trying to pinpoint like, oh my gosh, I love Maltinus, I want to go there, or like, just trying to pinpoint one species. Like that's difficult. You might strike out. You probably will strike out because it's not easy. The more you go and the more you herp, the higher the chances are that you're going to understand the microhabitat and find the animal you're looking for. But like, dude, I've struck out so hard, wasted thousands of dollars and just got my ass kicked, dude. Like,
but you still got that experience though, right?
You still get the experience, and then you say, hey, what am I going to do different next time? How am I going to find this animal? And then sometimes the odds are just against you. But here's a fun fact that I haven't told anybody. Like that Xenosaurus video that I just put out, that Xenosaurus video was supposed to be Abronia graminia and Xenosaurus. Got fucking worked on the Abronia, bro. I mean, and it was not our fault. There was gnarly forest fire. It just happened to be gnarly forest fires the week that we went up in those mountains where the Abronia live. And it was super dry. We kind of skirted around the outside a little bit and stuff, and we struck out on them. I mean, we spent 2 days looking for the damn things, didn't see a single one. And I spent a lot of money to go down there. And I spent a lot of time.
Hard to find regardless, though, man. I hear they're not easy to find.
Yeah.
So, got a question in the chat for Frank. JP asks, like, so all this herping you've done, what has been like your favorite finds?
Oh, geez, Louise, favorite finds. I mean, there's been kind of just those, I guess, Achilles heels for me, which, I mean, they wouldn't be spectacular for other people, but like Coleonyx flataki was one. That was a huge one for me.
I knew you were about to say that too.
I mean, that's just the one. I mean, I look for those things still to this day. I've never found them in California. I've looked for them for close to 30 years, 25 years or something like that. I've been down there hundreds of nights. Been down there in the freaking perfect habitat, perfect temperatures, the light rain. I mean, the shit that just brings all the animals out, and just could not find them. And then I've had buddies go down there, herp a couple nights and find one. It just drove me nuts. And then I always knew that if I just spent a little bit more time down in Baja, I'd find them. And so that's finally what I did because I got tired of it. So the very first one I found was like really fucking cool. The other really cool part about it was like, I don't know if this was cool or not, but I was by myself, which I don't know. It was kind of rad because it was just like, dude, I did this shit by myself. Like I did it. It wasn't like my buddy found it, or which usually I don't even care. It's not even like it's not that kind of a sport, you know?
Yeah.
But just finding it, being by myself, being on that freaking lonely ass dark road, way the hell out in the middle of the desert down in Mexico, and finding the lizard or finding the gecko that I was looking for that long was pretty big. So yeah, that was big. We found, what was that? Back in the, I don't know, 2000, probably 2012 or something. We found an Angolan python right on the border of Angola and Namibia, which was really
I'm
cool.
sure.
The thing was just like down on this freaking shelf above this crazy river that separates the two countries, and it was just like the most wild habitat, like baobab trees, bro. It was insane, dude. And me and my buddy, this dude Jason, we're walking along this cliff, man, and he looks down and he's like, dude, I think there's a snake down there. And I shine down and I'm like, fuck, that looks like a python, dude. And we climb down there, and the whole time I'm just like praying. I'm like, please don't be a freaking rock python. Like, don't be a rock python. Like, we get down there, man, and it was an Angolan python. And it was just off the hook, dude. It was crazy.
I used to sell them when we were kids. Rock pythons. You could buy them like a bird, man. Petland discount.
Man,
It's
it's
$60.
just like, you're gonna find the rock python in Angola, you want to find that damn Angolan. So yeah, it was. I mean, we found rock pythons too, but just that moment, I was like, dude, we're in the habitat. It could be an Angolan, dude. That could be an Angolan. Please be an Angolan. Boom, it's an Angolan. Like, it was pretty sick.
That's awesome.
But yeah, finding stuff like that, just the big gems. And then there's also been lizards that I've found, which like I didn't even care about, but like to other people, it would be the absolute epitome of their lifetime. Like Cordylus cataphractus, like the little armadillo lizards, man, I've found freaking dozens of those things, dozens of them. And I got photos of the things rolled up all up my arm. I've got photos of so many of those things, and they're cool, but I've just never been super pumped on them. And it's just bycatch of finding geckos. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's a neat
That's
lizard,
cool.
but so I mean, that's kind of, I guess, some of my better finds. If I really, really thought about it, the Euromastix tomasi, that's a big one. Some of the stuff I want to find is still like, you know, I do need to see an abronia. I really want to see a beaded lizard in the wild. I've got a trip planned in January that's just going to like blow my complete mind, which I'm really fucking excited about. I just booked a trip. It's me and my wife. We're going to go to Argentina to see all these
Nice.
crazy ass South American lizards that I've been keeping.
It's a beautiful country, man. I got
I heard the
buddies.
nightlife over there is ridiculous.
I know. I'm not going to be in Buenos Aires though. I'm going to be out in the desert.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if we do go to Buenos, we'll party a little bit. But
Oh yeah, I heard that
I'm
nightlife
pretty
is
stoked.
just dope, man.
Yeah, totally. I'm sure.
So what is like? So how long do you usually take to plan these trips out? Like, say you're going to like Australia or Africa or something like that. How long do you usually take to try to plan all this stuff out?
I mean, usually it's just like, I mean, it's not even really like a time frame, but it's a fun process, man. It's like once you kind of decide where you're going to go, and you got a buddy or two or whatever that says like, I'm in, then you kind of just start planning it from there. And it's, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's not like, okay, 6 months, like that's my time. Like usually it's over quite a long period. Like me and my buddies, like we're talking about another trip to Australia in 2026. And it's kind of like, well, where do we want to go? And we just start throwing ideas around. And it's like, well, I don't have a lot of time. You know, I'd probably be able to spend 7 days on the ground. Let's look at some of the maps and see like what, you know, what, and then you say, what's everybody's like name a couple species. Like, what do you want to see? Like, let's say we're going to go to the East Coast. What do you want to see? And, you know, somebody says, oh, I want to see Nephris asper. Somebody says, I want to see Saltuarius, and I want to see Philarius. And then somebody else is like, well, dude, I want to see Nephris stellatus, and I want to see friggin' Oidura trione, and I want to see Caugery and whatnot. And then from there, you kind of like say, well, I think if we're up here, we can see, you know, Asper and maybe even Castelnaui. If we go a little bit further north, that'd be a day. And you start planning it out like that. And I mean, if I had like a couple of days where we could just freaking knock it out, I could do it in a day or two. But generally speaking, we take months to plan it out. But it's pretty loose. It's, you know, texting, messaging, calling a little bit here and there, looking at the books, looking at iNaturalist or maps, reading a lot of these historic books and scientific papers that I have, because a lot of those will like really give you a lot of detail on where to find stuff.
I
Because
imagine
whenever
time of the year matters too. No, you want to go to a specific time of the year depending on temperature or rain and droughts and.
absolutely, yeah. Especially if you're going to, a quote unquote like temperate region.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, if I was going to go to Argentina, and I was like, dude, going to Argentina in June, it's going to be so sick. It's like, you ain't gonna find shit, dog. This is the middle of the winter. You're not going to find anything. So yeah, I mean, you gotta take that into consideration. And so, like for Australia, like our winter is when you go to Oz. Like, I don't know, November, December, January, February. Like that's about it. The Gurnia epsisolis, I've seen them. They're dope. Saw them in the wild last time. They're neat little lizards. So yeah, timing is everything. In the tropics, timing is not everything. Timing is usually not that big of a deal, depending on the species. But like generally speaking, if you're going to some like equilateral country, whether it be Central America, Northern South America, kind of Central Africa or Southeast Asia, you can go pretty much year round and you're going to be all right. But yeah, the temperate zones, down there in like where I'm going in South America, Australia, South Africa, stuff like that. Or if you're herping Europe and Russia and China and things like that, you definitely got to pay attention to your seasons, because if you go in winter and you're going where animals hibernate, you're not going to find anything at all.
Yeah, for real.
Super bummer.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ant. I'm about to get this presentation going.
Have you ever kept an animal, like an animal, before you went somewhere and then went to the animal's natural range and said, you know what, I'm not going to keep it anymore? I guess has going somewhere ever made you second guess keeping a species in captivity?
I mean, to be honest with you, like I'm almost there right now, where I'm just like, I don't know if it's because I went there where I'm like, I don't want to keep this anymore, but it's almost like just keeping, I don't even know how to explain, like keeping stuff outside has got me feeling pretty lame about keeping stuff inside, just because I don't know, man. I see the animals how they act outside, and it's just like it's so different. And I want that for all of my animals. And I think that there's always going to be some things that we're missing in captivity, whether it be like I was saying earlier, like, and I'm surprised nobody's ever done this. So maybe like the reptile manufacturers, like, what's the deal? Like a light that moves like with the circadian rhythm of the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like it would move across the terrarium over the day and then turn off and then reset and do it again. Like, because it trips me out. Like that's one of the things I notice the most about watching them out there is like they bask in one spot in the morning, and then towards the later in the day they're basking in another spot. And I don't know. I really like keeping stuff outdoors. And in terms of like, I've definitely tried to keep animals multiple times, failed, went to the habitat, like was like, yo, this habitat's pretty chill. Like I feel like I'm doing most things right, try to keep them again, fail, and then just gave up on them. In terms of like the seeing them in the wild making me not keep them anymore, I don't think so. I think if anything, seeing things in the wild will make you more stoked to keep things. Like it just gets you pumped. Like dude, before I went to Australia, I was like, I didn't have any desire to keep knobtail geckos. When I got back from Australia, I was like freaking buying knobtail geckos. And dude, the Angolan python thing, I never really, I knew Angolan pythons were dope. I didn't care that much about them though. Dude, within a month of me getting back, I bought a pair of Angolan pythons after I found one. Like, to me, it turns the volume up rather than turn it down. I think it's you psyched.
Yeah. So what made you, for like the knobtails, what was that one thing that made you say, you know what, I want these now after being out there?
Dude, I think just seeing them and just realizing how stoked I was to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, I think that's it. I don't really have an answer. It was just kind of like, man, this is so freaking, like, it's a religious experience, bro. You read about these things your whole life. My whole life, dude, since I was 9 years old. Like, you open a gecko book, and every single gecko book you ever open always has knobtail geckos. And to be, I guess, 39 or 40 years old, however old I was, and then seeing them in the wild, like, no joke, was like a religious thing. It was crazy. It was crazy. And it was
They're like, little gangsters, man. To hang and then thrive in those environments where they are, like, they're badass little animals, man.
Yeah, they're gnarly, dude, and they're just out there cruising around, and it's just sick. It's sick. And all the geckos, dude. Like, it was it wasn't even just knobs. It was Strophorus too, and it was like, dude, I've never wanted to keep Heteronotia, and I was like, dude, I kind of like these now. I never did, but like seeing stuff like that, man. Like I guarantee you, like you go to Oman, you're coming back, you're gonna have Pisteris. Like you're gonna be wanting to get them. And there's plenty of
After I watched your video, I was like, oh, should I go ahead and get these now? Fuck.
I mean,
But
you
I
should.
never.
They're pretty dope, and that's another gecko. Like that's one of the geckos that like a couple years of bad breeding and people not really paying attention and not buying and letting breeders get rid of their babies and shit. They could disappear. I mean, right now they're popping. Like you can. I mean, they're pretty.
Oh yeah,
right
I see them on Morph Market all the time.
Yeah, and I mean those are freaking. Like the price on those is so freaking juiced. Like you can get them in Europe for nothing, but they're freaking. They're just like.
Yeah.
They're neat. They're neat geckos. I mean, I don't keep them anymore as of like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Sent some over to Ian just because I've kept them forever and they're neat. But like that was a gecko that I was keeping wrong until I went over there for sure.
Ian's a cool dude, by the way. Fucking character.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
We had him on, man. He's a sincere dude, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. I've known him and his wife for a minute now. They used to live out here.
Yeah.
About 2 hours away from me. So I'd see them at the reptile shows, and then they came out to Tinley when I was out there. So yeah, they're good people. I like them. They're Ian's like he's almost like my little vault where I can just be like, I don't want to keep this
Stash these
anymore,
geckos in here.
but I can fucking put them over here and he'll breed them and hang on to them for fucking ever and continue to breed them, but not blow them out all over the internet. And then I can just go back and be like, hey, dude, I'm ready for these back, and he'll just send them back. So Ian's always good for that, and he does great. I mean, he's real, especially with tropical stuff, man. He's really good with the tropical stuff. Like he breeds the Thecodactylus rapicauda and acts like it's no big deal. Who else is breeding those? Those are hard to breed.
Exactly. Yeah, I haven't seen many. Yeah, I have not seen many people actually breed those, and yeah, that's hell of
a easy to breed. I mean, the other ones, the freaking Oscarod Prenorum are fairly easy to breed, the white and spotted ones, but these normal rapicauda from South America, they're not easy to breed.
Yeah.
And I sent him his group, and he's been freaking pumping them out. And that's another gecko. That's like a perfect like comparison to like Homophilus fasciata. Like Thecodactylus were $15 geckos, and then they disappeared for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And then they were like a $400 gecko for a minute, and now they're kind of back a little bit again, but like. I mean, it's crazy when things disappear, dude. This picture that's on the thing right now, Teratoscincus przewalski, these were freaking common as all hell. There's maybe one or two of these in captivity in the United States right now. I know there's like a male floating around and everybody's looking for them. But they're gone. And shit happens like, I mean, all the Teratoscincus, apart from Kaiserlingi, are fucking gone. There's no friggin' Roborowski anymore. There's no Skinkus. When I say no, I mean there's very few. I know there's one or two floating around here and there, but like, dude, there's nobody with freaking groups anymore doing that stuff. I mean, maybe freaking Larry Boyle and Tim I think they have a decent group of some Teratoscincus, but that's about it. Like shit disappears, dude. Yeah. People need to realize that shit disappears.
So this one really caught my eye. And is this the same as these ones right here?
Yeah. So those are
and
the
this
first
Tarantola?
Tooting my own horn. Those are the first Tarantola Affipiata that were bred in captivity. And yeah, man, these came in. When was that? That was back in the freaking, I don't know, 2004, 2005 maybe. Dude, I was just freaking cruising on kingsnake.com back in the day.
Yeah.
Some dude was like, he called them West African velvet geckos. And I think he even had them listed as freaking Homophilus Affipiata or some wacky shit like that. And I go on there, and I'm just like, none of that made sense. I mean, I know the genus Homophilus, and I know the genus Tarantola, and I was like, those are Tarantola Affipiata. And the dude who had them was like known to be pretty sketchy. And so I hit the dude up. I'm like, look, bro, you get those things. If you can get them in the mail right now, like I'm talking today, and show me proof of it, I'll pay you 2 times what you're asking for them. And he did it, and they came, and I bred them, and dude, these things are still around. Like the babies and stuff are still floating around. People are keeping them going. I got a buddy, Paul, who's still keeping them. I think Mickey over in Germany still got them. There's a dude in Italy who's working with them. There's a handful of people who are still breeding these things. And, I mean, they've never come in since. I think maybe there was a group of them that came in, But actually, you know what? Just recently, a bunch of them came in with, I think, underground reptiles. But before that, man, these things were one of the rarest tarantulas in Canada.
Okay. Even
And,
rarer than like the Gigas ones.
oh, yeah. There's plenty
Okay.
of people that have Geigus.
And this is Tenopus. I know that. Which one is this?
This is Garrulus maculatus.
Okay. And these are the barking geckos, right?
These are the barking geckos, and yeah, this
Yeah.
was the first one that I ever produced. They're a pain in the ass to breed, man.
I heard that like the babies are a pain in the ass to keep alive.
Babies are a pain in the butt to keep. They're a pain in the ass to freaking breed. They lay one egg at a time.
Ugh.
This was one of my first real rare gecko like loves. This is kind of like what got me into like to go down the rare gecko like rabbit hole.
Mhm.
Was the genus like Tenopus was my thing because I always wanted them. I thought they looked so cool. They looked like a little goby or something. I was like, those things are so fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
And then freaking Anthony, you might remember these guys. Do you remember D&J Reptiles up in New York way back in the day? Freaking what's his name, dude? I can't remember his name.
DJ. I'd be
Two
lying
brothers.
if I said I did.
It was two brothers. One of them's still around. I think one of them might have passed away, but they had a big reptile business up in New York. And it was like the straight up like it was so rad. It was like the old school like mob mentality, used car salesman kind of gecko guys. They'd call them up on the phone and they'd be like, "Hey Frank, what can I do you for?" And like all crazy talking. And I was like a kid, dude. And they wanted $1,600 for a trio of these things, dude. I had a freaking Jeep Cherokee. I sold my Jeep Cherokee to have zero car to buy these damn geckos.
Shit.
And I bought these geckos, and freaking back then they didn't even know what was going on with them, and it turns out they send me two different freaking subspecies.
Fuck.
And so it was like a dead end. But I had Tempest. I was that kid, man. And I actually met a lot of people because I was that kid. A lot of these, bigger gecko names back in the day would hit me up. Why do you have Tempest? How do you have Tempest? You're like some 16-year-old kid. And it was like, yeah, there you go. See, he knows. D&J. One of their name, yeah, one of them was, I think it was Danny and Jimmy Gorman. It was the Gorman brothers. That's who it was. But anyway, yeah, this is Tenopus, and
Yep.
only bred him a few times, but that was one of them. Yep, Jimmy Gorman. He's still around. I talk to him occasionally. And then this next one, I believe, is another. Yeah, this should be Tenopus. This is Tenopus carpi. This is another species. These guys live on the gravel plains, like in the beach, kind of like real cold, windy, foggy. And these ones are actually fairly easy to breed, but the babies are difficult as hell to raise.
Yeah, I've always heard that. It hasn't kept me away from wanting to actually try my hand at them. I just haven't found people that, besides, I think like maybe like Joe Hupp or somebody has some, but
Joe got Koki a while back. I think Joe got his Koki from Bill Gaines, and Bill Gaines got his Koki from me way back in the day.
yeah.
I don't know where Joe got his. And this is Palmetto gecko. The other one, Keoko gecko. Blah, blah, blah. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Is it Pachydaculus?
It is Pachydaculus now, isn't it? It was Palmetto gecko, it was Keoko gecko, and now it is Pachydaculus.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of the Rangii, but I know they don't have because these ones look like they don't have the front web feet.
Yeah,
they just have the back web feet.
The rear feet are webbed, and the front foot is. Oh, these are Vanzilli. That's what it is. This is Pachydaculus Vanzilli. But yeah, so for a long time, this was like the freaking just unknown sister species of the webfoot. It is a webfoot. It's a different species.
Yeah.
And dude, we went out to the craziest freaking skeleton coast, man, and lions and shit. It was insane in Africa. We found these things. This was actually finding these was the scariest herping that I've ever done by far. It's insane.
Oh shit.
Like legit lions roaring. And when we go to Africa, we don't have guides, we don't have guns, bro. It's just us in the car and the tent, and it was sketchy as hell.
That's crazy. Shit.
Yeah, they're freaking wild, dude. These are Pachydaculus oscillatus. So these guys are from like
wow,
a little bit south of Johannesburg, I guess Eastern Cape area. Little guys, pretty cool. These are a lot of like African stuff in here. Rhoptropus.
Yeah, so that
Bradfieldy.
And this is a field photo right here?
Yeah, that was in Namibia. These are diurnal, which is really cool. These are almost like a phelsuma, but just screaming around the rocks in the super hot daytime. I think some of
God
these
damn.
just came. Um, some German went on a trip. Somehow some
Oh,
of these
yep.
came back. So these are popping up here and there.
Oh shit.
This is back when I bred the Holodactylus africanus. This was a long time ago. These are such a cool gecko, but such a pain in the ass to breed.
Oh yeah.
That dude over, and I think he's in the UK, Larry Dams, is doing really good with these.
Yeah. What was so hard about them?
Dude, they're from like Ethiopia and Somalia, and they're like the way that they hibernate, they like estivate, and so it's this really hot, really dry, like hibernation period, which is kind of backwards from how you think about hibernation.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, at least for me, the way that I did it, a lot of times when you would do this hot, dry period for them, they'd die. But they wouldn't breed without it. It was weird. I mean, I don't even know if I was doing it right. I only bred them one time. But that's what got them to breed. It's this type of lizard that just, they're super fossorial, and they don't come out usually until it rains. It's probably like a relic species that is from, thousands of years ago when there was still a lot of rain in the area where they're at. They're still kind of scratching out a living somehow. And
Damn.
they're probably, a couple thousand more years they won't be there.
Mm.
That's just a dope ass picture. I love that picture right there, man.
Thanks, man. It's Chondrodactylus angullifer.
Yeah.
These guys are like super common out there. You find them on the roads, like all
And
the time.
I think we were talking to Jake before, and there's like two different versions of them, right?
I mean, there's two legit subspecies of them.
Yeah.
There's angullifer, which is the ones that those are the ones in the hobby.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that's what this is. And then there's some people were trying to say, oh, this is like Namibiensis or whatever. There's not Namibiensis in the hobby right now. There was, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, but Namibiensis is up north, and they look similar. They got more gangly legs, and they look a little bit different than this, but they're pretty similar. But yeah, there's two subspecies of them, for sure.
What lenses do you use, Frank? Are you taking multiple lenses with you when you go, or do you have one?
Yeah. I got a big old freaking camera kit. Usually though, usually I'll use two lenses, man. I'll use a 50 millimeter macro, and then I use a 15 millimeter fisheye, which is the Sigma 15 fisheye is a close focusing fisheye. And that's how you can get these like wide angle shots with an animal in the front where it looks just like that last picture where it's like, wow, it's kind of a trippy shot.
Yeah.
Like you can focus up close on the animal, but still get that background wide angle in focus.
So, before we act about this one, so, for people that want to get into like this photography stuff, right? What's a good intro, like camera kits and lenses, all that stuff?
The best intro to do is to just get in. I mean, dude, I honestly like cameras these days are gnarly, dude. I don't even know if I could say like what to get because things have changed. For me,
I just went through it and bought one, man. They're all. If you're gonna get into it, yeah, man. These mirrorless cameras. I mean, a lot of people are suggesting and recommending like your Canon Rebel line. It's a cheaper entry level that can do just about anything you're gonna want to do that's not professional work. It's I got a Sony, the Alpha A7. Not exactly an entry level, but it's still cheap enough that most people could get one if they passed on a gecko.
Yeah, totally. I mean that's what I would say right off the bat is like start with like a Canon Rebel or whatever the Nikon version of that is or whatever Sony's version of that is. And I mean the easiest thing to do is to get a 50 millimeter macro lens and get just a normal ass like 18 to 55 zoom lens. You don't need to be doing the fisheye shit yet. Just get the basics and figure yourself out. You can take nice photos with a fish or with a macro lens, 50 millimeter, and yeah, go with there. I mean, the most important thing for taking good reptile photos usually is using a flash. And I've done some of my videos, I go more into it, but getting the flash off the camera is important. And, you need your little receivers and your transceivers for that. And so there's a lot of different things that you can do, but I mean, right off the bat, just the basics, man. I'd say get a 50 millimeter macro and get a little zoom lens. Just so you want to take a photo of the animal, you want to take a rad photo of the habitat, and then move on.
Beautiful pictures, though, man. Yeah. Beautiful work.
And what is this? Because it reminds me of an Oeodora, but then that tail throws. Okay.
Yeah, So this is Afroidura. These were Oidura
Okay.
at one point, but this is Afroidura. This is from right near Cape Town, down in South Africa. Dude, these are fucking badass geckos. They're big and they're neat.
Yeah, I mean, it
Super
literally looks part velvet gecko, but then that tail gives me Phylloris vibes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
regen tail, so it is a little bulbous, but yeah, these are one of my favorite geckos. This would probably be one of those moments where one of my favorite moments was finding these things for the first time, just because
Yeah.
they're big. They've got, you can't really tell in this photo, but they got red eyes.
Mm.
They're intense, man.
Do they have these in the hobby? Are these in the States?
No, not anymore. I've
I
had
don't
them.
think I've ever seen one.
They're gone.
They were here, I would, man. Yeah, they would have been mine.
One day.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
What we got right
It's
here,
just
man?
a cool little baby Chondrodactylus. It's
Okay.
Fitzsimmonsy. Neat looking
Okay.
animal. Yeah, they're all Fitzsimmonsys actually. That's all the people saying, "Oh, this is Pulitzer and this is that and this is that." All of these flat-scaled Chondrodactylus in captivity right now are all Fitzsimmonsy until further notice. Pulitzer or Angola and North. So all
Gotcha.
that crap
Okay.
is
Nice.
let's get correct here.
There you go.
It is. This is Levis occidentalis. Cool ass little lizard.
Damn.
This was such a they're so fun.
Dude, that is like the perfect photo right there too, man.
Little knobtail is wild. Yeah, I mean this dude, like this photo is like 50 millimeter macro. Get the freaking flash off the camera. You can see the catch light in his eye is like up here.
Yeah.
Get down low, get him focused, hold your flash up here, pow, you're done.
So when you're doing these photos, are you like holding that gecko for like, are you cupping them real quick to like, it's like stay right here while we get everything together?
Yeah, I mean, usually speaking, yeah. I mean, we'd hop out of the car. It just depends where you are also. Like if I'm in a country where I'm allowed to like mess around with animals, that's one thing. But like Australia's pretty tight about what they want you to do and what not to do with animals. And so with them, we'd have to just, right where we found them, you corral them and you keep them where you want to and you kind of manipulate them a little bit, but you can't like take them somewhere else or do some shit like that. It's going to all happen right there.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a normal ass Underwoodosaurus millie. That's crazy, huh?
And they don't look like that though. That's so you're like, this is a normal ass, but in the hobby, they don't look like that.
They don't. And I mean, even in the wild though, so we found this, one of Hussein's buddies told us about this little peninsula. And he's like, dude, the Underwoodosaurus out there are crazy looking. And we're like, all right, well, let's go out there. We're over here, so let's go out there. We went out there, and they were fucking crazy looking, dude.
Like those colors are like, you don't see that.
All of them, and that orange on that regen tail, like, dude, they had orange all over them. They were a trip, man.
Damn. Yeah, that's
super
crazy.
cool. So I know earlier you had mentioned, having the chance to find some super rare geckos and working with some scientists and whatnot and getting some papers drawn up. Have you ever have you officially discovered anything new yet?
Yes, we found like actually a handful of them.
No.
I found one for sure Pachydaculus species that's like just been in progress forever.
Oh shit.
I mean, kind of how that works, man, is like me being like a layman, I can't do too much to like push that kind of stuff forward. Like it's not, I can't take the animal. I can't, they need tissue samples. I can't do this. I can't do that. And so I'm in touch with like the scientists who work in South Africa would be like Aaron Bauer. And I'm in touch with Aaron and we've talked about it and I've told him where it is. I've told his students where they are and they've been having trouble finding it. And so I told him like, next time I'm out there, let's meet up and I'll show them to you.
There you go.
They did get tissue from one of them. It is a new species, but they just need to wrap it up. And then also it's coming out in a paper that's got like 5 or 6 other new species in it. And it just ends up just getting like just sidetracked and sidetracked and sidetracked. And it takes fucking years for the damn paper to come out. And then in Oman, we found 1 or 2 new species of Tropiocolotes, which is kind of doing the same thing. There's a scientist in Spain who's working on that stuff. And also I think a scientist in Russia. And Mickey's kind of taken the lead on that because he's in touch with them. But yeah, we went out to this crazy little island that hadn't been like herpetologically surveyed in ever. And so we went out there and we wrote an article for Saria magazine in Germany about this whole trip that we did out there. And we were able
So
to like
fucking cool.
say like, just contribute to the history of herpetology. Be like, hey, dude, now if someone's going to write a paper on Oman and they want to do the distribution of all these animals, they can look and reference our paper and see what we found on this island because there's no other information on that island. And that kind of stuff gets me really stoked, and I'm proud of that kind of stuff. And
oh yeah.
So yeah, it's big for me to do that kind of stuff.
Well, congratulations, not for nothing, but that's huge, Frank. That's freaking awesome, dude.
So you're making a mark on this hobby.
You will
that kind of
fuck
stuff.
the hobby. I mean, the science in general, dude. You have permanently left a mark, dude. I mean,
that's what I try to tell my wife. I'm just trying to, I guess, permanently leave my. You want to be immortalized. I mean, of course, every guy like me, at least, my goal, my dream would be to have a species. I'm not saying I deserve one at all yet, but maybe by the time I'm dead, I'll have done enough to where somebody will name something after me. Who knows? That's a dream for me. And I'm not saying
dreams come true every day, brother. Dreams come true every day. You're doing the work.
Push forward.
You're doing the work. It'll happen, man. I have 100% faith in you, brother. Absolutely, without a doubt in my mind, you will.
I appreciate that. So yeah, this is a Stropherus taeniata. This is a cool little, tiny little gecko we found in up north in Western Australia. Drove past it, man. I thought it was a praying mantis. It was weird the way it was standing on the road, real weird. And I was like, "What the fuck was that, dude? That looked weird." I think it's a mantis, but I'm gonna flip around, flip the car.
What kind of tree is he in? He's not. That's not bamboo, is it?
No, it's some eucalyptus little shrubby thing.
He's lined like those. On the road. Like reminds me of one of those bamboo delineatus.
Yeah. I mean they're more of a they're like a spinifex dwelling kind of a.
So these are the like the phasmid ones of the Stropherus?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
It's funny how that stripe down its side exactly matches the branch on the eucalyptus it's on.
Totally.
Well, not funny, but I remember.
It's sick. Beautiful. This is Ciliaris, or I guess Ciliaris aberrans. So this.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm like.
They look different. I mean, they look. Some of the aberrans I've seen are prettier, but this one was. Found a couple of them. We found actually quite a few of them. It's funny, man. You catch them and you're not like really thinking about like the shit they squirt out of their tails. And like I caught a bunch of them, and then like later on that night I was like, I think I was going to have a smoke or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck is all over my hands, dude? And it was the shit that they squirt
like to
out
me
of
it smells
tails.
like a stink bomb.
Yeah, I didn't even smell it. To me, it was like a bunch of it was like sap. And I'm like, what is on me, dude? And then like 2 and 2, like, duh, dude, these fools are fucking squirting their crap on you, man. But yeah, they're neat. Yeah. They're not shy to squirt it in the wild. I feel like in captivity they don't do it. In the wild, they're down to do it quick.
Yeah, I haven't most of mine don't unless they like I said unless I'm pulling one out of the incubator. That's when they want to squirt because they're like, what the fuck is going on?
That's cool. After that, do it. I've never had one do it in captivity.
Now I always know to put my hand in front of my face before it happens, and I just like stink bomb, cool. Because I used to like I said we used to lay them things out like when I was younger in the classrooms, stink bomb it up, boom. So that's what I was like, oh, that's what it smells like.
I would love to see one of these guys use that defense in the wild against like an actual predator, So I've always been curious, like how exactly do they use it? What would trigger it? Like a bird, another lizard, what would and how would they use it? Have you ever seen anything like that out there? Have you ever got to witness them?
I mean, I haven't seen them getting smoked
like attacked or anything, right?
I would think that a lot of like smaller snakes get them.
Mm.
And I mean, I think that the way that it would work with the snake if the snake was to grab him by the tail, they'd fucking spray that stuff out. It would taste terrible, and the snake would drop it.
Okay.
Or they'd let their tail go. But I feel like if the snake got him by the head, it's over. It doesn't matter what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And they might use it for. I mean, there's some terrible insects out there, and they probably you get some sketchy spider or whatever come up and bite them. They might spray it at them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've only been out there one time, and I didn't really get to I found all the stuff, but I wasn't, when your first trip, man, you're just trying to freaking check boxes, dude. You're trying to get shit done. It's
definitely.
that's why, like, when I said, like, I've been to Oman 6 times, like, I've been to Southern Africa, like South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, and Swaziland. I've been to that region a whole bunch of times too, because once you get past your first and second trip, then you can really start tripping out on the way that things work and spend more time watching something, because it's like, I already saw this, or, I don't need to now go and try to check everything off the list. Now I can really trip out on the stuff that interests me.
Yeah. Now, did you get to see them like during the daytime? Were they like open baskers like they are in captivity?
Yeah, they would. I don't think we saw them. I don't think we saw them in the daytime. I'm trying to remember. I don't think we did, but I'm pretty sure that, like, I think that what you guys are doing, like with the UVB stuff, is making sense. Just because of the way they live. I mean, in these bushes, they're getting hit with the sun.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense. I'm not a huge. I mean, I use UVB where I need to. I don't use it on a lot of my geckos. I don't know. I don't know why I don't use it. I just feel like that I've done okay without using it on a lot of my geckos, but I feel like maybe I would do better with it. It's just.
Oh shit! Now you got animals outside. You got the real
Well, I
UVB.
mean, of course,
so,
those guys. I don't have nothing. I guess that's part of it. Is I can't stand all the lights and the cords and the heat and this.
Yeah.
Worst, dude. And so to me, it's just like one more light. I'm not even really sure if it's doing freaking anything for it. But like some of them, man, like I've seen it, man. Like some of those, like I remember keeping like Chihuahua and stuff, and they get right up underneath it, dude. And so they can see wavelengths that we can't see. And so I don't want to deprive them of anything, but my Stropharis, I've never kept UVB on my Stropharis, and I've bred most of the species.
Yeah, I remember you had the little video where you're like, yeah, just crack this what's called the lens off the bulb, and you get a little bit of UVB on the.
Yeah, so that I've done that, and I don't even know if that's true. I've been told that by a handful of people. I've never actually put it underneath a meter before.
Yeah,
but I've been told that, and I mean, dude, like no joke, like. I can't, dude. I almost want to retract my statement. I don't remember if that was UVB or not. I might have put UVB on them. I don't keep them like that anymore, just because I don't keep very many of them anymore. I didn't breed them last year. I just let them be. But like, I might have had like a 2.0 or something running across the top of the babies. I can't really remember. But I just, dude, I haven't felt like I've failed miserably with them. I've bred a lot of them. I mean, keeping the babies in those cups seemed to work really well for me. It kept them warm, and it kept them close to the food, and I mean, they did well.
Well,
that's why I learned it from you.
It debunks a lot of this crap. A lot of people will fail with an animal, and personally, I find a lot of people are quick to blame it on lighting, right? Like it's good to hear someone succeed with species that others have failed, and it not be the lighting. I mean, that's actually like a super important thing to hear right there.
Yeah, I just don't know like how. I mean, I don't want to say it's not important, because I know for a fact that it's very important to some animals. In terms of nocturnal geckos, most nocturnal geckos, I'm not saying all, most nocturnal geckos do not bask.
Yeah, I'm the first. Do not. I have UVB on there because I was told. I assure you, no light, none of this UVB that I keep on this thing all day has this Neferis ever experienced. Like, she is gone all day. You will not see her until the.
So that situation for me, it's like, why the hell do I need to have another fucking cord?
Exactly.
These geckos that don't bask, bro, they don't need it. They never see it, especially something like a Nephris or something that's underneath the ground during the daytime.
Literally, yeah.
The UVB is not going to do you any good, period.
Oh.
She never sees it. Cristeris, on the other hand, like, so these guys are actually interesting, man, because so a lot of people are like, oh, they're diurnal. Cristeris they're just friggin' crackheads, bro. They're up.
Yeah, I would say they're out both night and day, right? Like, dude, just
24 hours a day, man. They're freaking always they're wild little animals, dude. They're out in the day, they're out in the night. You can find them anytime. And like, I mean, sure, UVB would definitely be fine for them because they're out the day. But I just wonder if it would be detrimental to not have it. I've always kept it on them. Not a big one. I keep one of those little spirally CFL tube UVBs in their cage, which I think those things put off a pretty minimal They put off enough UVB for them to sell them as UVB lights, but I don't think they're blasting any sort of major UVB. But
Yeah.
I put them on mine, and I mean, I've always gotten good eggs. The eggs are hard. I've never had anybody get any, metabolic bone disease or anything like that. And they look good. I've never seen them look as good as they do in the wild, but they look good.
But
They just like it
are
hot.
they?
I mean, that's the thing. They just
Yeah. Are they communal or no?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can keep them.
I thought I saw them. Like I saw somebody with like a bunch of them in a cage. And I was like, I didn't know we can do that.
No, you can. You gotta. Well, I mean, any animal that you're gonna do that with, like, I mean, there's obviously a lot of geckos. At least it's a no-no. But
yeah,
with Prosteris, you can keep them together. Just keep them. You want a pretty big cage, and you just want to keep an eye on them, make sure nobody's getting freaking bullied. But as long as it's hot enough and there's enough food and there's enough areas where they can move around and stuff like that. The thing about Prosteris, man, I think people overthink these geckos a lot. Like Prosteris, like if you look at the videos in Oman, like, dude, Prosteris is flat. I mean, Prosteris their habitat is just this flat wasteland, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to get all fancy. You can because it's your cage, but you don't want to take up too much of their space with all this funky shit. Like, you could like this picture right here. You could fill a cage with gravel and put like maybe a rock with another rock so they can get underneath it to hide. Bake that cage, and that's it. That's all you need. Like, they don't have some fancy, like, they're not climbing up stuff. Sure, in captivity they are because they're in a tiny box and they're trying to get out. But like, dude, in the wild, like, if there's boulders and stuff like that, the Prosteris carteri is not on them at all. They're on the ground. If you see Prosteris on the rocks, it's different species. There's Rupestris on the rocks. There's Cellurinus on the rocks. You got Galligary in the trees. But carteri are on the ground all the time. They don't climb. I mean, sure, they will climb, but the rocks that they're climbing on, like, literally, man, you got to see this habitat. It's crazy. It's just gravel plains with like baseball-sized rocks, and they'll sit up on those rocks and kind of run between those rocks. And then they'll hide underneath, if there's a decent-sized rock, that's where they'll hide underneath it. But these guys aren't climbing. They're not, they're not needing much, dude. These things are, my cages for these things are like, dude, I use sand. I'll do like a flower pot, like one of the plastic things you put underneath a flower pot. I'll cut a little opening in it and put a flat rock on top of that, dude, and they can hide underneath that, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. I mean, they don't look great, but they fucking breed like crazy in there.
Is yours like I said, like that colony? And then if you do you see like those different social behaviors?
Yeah, totally. I don't have a big call. Yeah. I don't have any right now, but I had 2 pairs together. Okay. And yeah, all the time. They're friggin' boom, boom, boom. Their tails, they're doing the whole weird stuff with their tails. Yeah. And they do all kinds of stuff. They'll bring it up and down. They'll go back and forth. They do like this. Like, they do all kinds of weird stuff with their tails. They're really fun to watch. And that's why it's fun to keep them in a group.
Yeah.
I was here. You guys interviewed, what was his name about the Prosteris?
Chris?
Yeah. And he was talking about like keeping them in a colony and stuff. And I mean, if he gets enough of them, he should. Yeah. And I mean, the thing about them, man, and I heard him talking about the eggs. And if he's listening, or if he does, like, bro, cook the eggs, man. Cook them. It's hot as hell out there, dude. 80 degrees.
Chris is listening right now. He's in the chat.
I'd go. Yeah. I mean, so put it this way. Like, here's how, like, when you think about this kind of stuff, like, I feel like you could kind of come to the conclusion of like, well, let's see. So Uromastyx, guys breeding Uromastyx, they're incubating the eggs at 90 degrees, 92 degrees.
God damn.
And Prosteris carteri are living with Uromastyx. Uromastyx is a big ass animal, dude. They can dig gnarly tunnels and get down into the depths where it's not necessarily that hot. These tiny ass little geckos they're not digging shit out. So those tiny little hard-shelled eggs, man, they're dropping them underneath a rock. It's dry sand, and it's freaking, dude, 90 degrees will hatch your gecko.
Yeah.
So bump the temps up. And, yeah, total colony. Keep them as a colony. And they're super fun, super rewarding geckos. Yeah. It's good to hear that he's keeping them because they're fun. That's Teodactylus, big old fan-footed gecko.
Okay.
I love those things.
Yeah, they're neat.
You don't see them a lot anymore. I used to see them a lot.
Not too often.
Yeah.
I've got one little pretty rare species. I've got Aldri, which is from Morocco, which are freaking pretty sick.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a fun one to find. That was one of the targets just because I keep them. Wanted to see them. It was pretty neat to see them.
So when you were out there, Frank, doing all these travels and everything, you ever dabble in geology? You ever find out or look into where certain stone structures and substrates and all this stuff comes from? Have you ever gotten into it, or?
So in Oman, I do a little bit. Like if I haven't researched it, but like I definitely, if I see something dope, I'll be like, oh, that's fucking sick, dude. Like, what is that? Like a crystal or whatever. In Oman, man, some really killer like fossil hunting, which is dope because you'll be out in the freaking desert, dude, finding like the sickest, like, dude, shells that are just perfectly fossilized, like incredible shells. And that's always fun. We always hit that desert up because there's, you can find Presterus carteri out there, and there's like desert monitors that we've looked for out there. And then, yeah, dude, fossil hunting is super fun out there. Trying to think where else I've done that. More than geology, I'll trip out on the plants, like some of the succulents, and then also like if I'm down in the jungle, like, some of the normal, philodendrons and anthuriums and different plants that are down there get me kind of psyched. I don't know them super well, but in terms of rocks, man, my sister-in-law is like a rock hound. She's all about it. She goes to
the whole world, dude. It's a whole little. It's insane.
It's a trip. I mean, they're like us, dude. I mean, she goes up to Quartzsite and they do this whole freaking gnarly ass gem show that lasts like fucking 2 weeks or so, 2 months even.
Yeah,
and it's pretty sick.
What the hell is this?
So that's a Brachioedura ornata. These are Australian. These are like a Diplodactylus. These guys These guys came in not super long ago, but they're not. This is one of the ones that's just not fit for captivity. These guys eat ants and termites.
Oh, goddamn.
They really don't mess with anything else. And they're so beautiful. But they just, they just didn't do great, I guess. I mean, I didn't try them. I saw them and I was like, yeah, I know how that's going to go.
Very cool gecko. Wow.
Yeah, they're neat. They're neat little geckos. And they were the most common gecko we found out there. They were all over.
Really? Damn.
Sure.
Fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, this was actually so the cool part about this photo, man, is this was my very first Australian gecko that I'd ever seen before. Like, we pulled up to where we thought we were gonna look, and this was the first gecko we found. So I was like, boom, dude, I was so psyched.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you do anything with these photos, Frank? Are you making like calendars or framing them and selling them, dude? What are you doing with this photo, this artwork, man? It's beautiful freaking pictures, dude.
So, like, I'll use them in the slideshows and stuff. If I do talks.
You do your talks. Yeah.
Usually I just take them, man. I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I don't have a lot of motivation right now to freaking get shit popping. I'm like trying to get through these kids right now, trying to give them my attention and just keep myself alive right now. But the photo stuff, it's crazy. I haven't even been taking photos lately. Like I haven't even been filming or anything. Like my last that freaking Reptilian Diaries video I just put out, man. When I went to film the part about me talking, bro, I was like, yo, I don't even know how to do this anymore. Like I swear to God, I had to Google like rule of thirds and like, what's my shutter speed supposed to be? I forgot. It's been a year, bro. I shot that footage last year. Like, I'm tripping. I'm slipping is what I'm doing.
It's that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Like, dude, for me, like being in the food service world, knife skills, right? Don't use that shit. You're going to lose it. You're like, right? Yeah, exactly. Some crazy shit. Or like, give me a brunoise of carrots or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Hold on. Let me look this shit up real quick. No.
You look at the price, though, brother. I mean, put all the weird, sappy shit aside, man. I mean, if there was anything in this world that was worth it, it's going to be them two kids, right? You look at those kids and nothing in this world can compare, compete, or anything. I mean, it's
that's why it's easy for me to
worthy sacrifice. Yeah, man. You're doing the right thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's kind of easy for me to just let it slide, because it's just like, I know that I'll get back to it, and
maybe they'll be with you.
Got rid of all my animals. I mean, I have, dude, it's a lot of work. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I can go out there, and I mean, keeping reptiles for 35 years. I guess I'm a pro at feeding. I could knock out my collection in about an hour, man. I mean, I'm just boom, 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 feeding.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you know, it's become a chore to be out there. And I've told my wife that. I'm like, I don't enjoy being out there right now. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Like that's my life out there. I mean, my life's in here, but that's another part of me. And right now it's not a fun place for me to be. But seeing my outside lizards, man, I love it. So I'm just trying to explore that and figure out what's kind of happening with me, because inside stuff right now is just not getting me pumped. I mean, I'm still doing it. It's just I'm just in that phase where it's like, man,
it's
I
like
want to be
almost like a new challenge for you, though, right? No, keeping outside.
Just, dude, you got to do it. Like, dude, Jason, you could do it, man. You live in Arizona. You just got to pick something right.
Yeah.
Anthony, I don't know what you're you're in Connecticut, I think.
Yeah, there's not much I could do other than the summertime. I take my certain shit outside and put them in those screen zoom ed the Repta breezes I have, but there's not shit I could keep outside over here.
Yeah. Hell, I was thinking about maybe I can keep some stropheros outside. I live in Arizona where it's fucking hot.
Hell yeah, I think all your Australian species you could probably could, bro.
Problem with geckos, man, and I don't keep any geckos outside. Number one, my habitat wouldn't allow for it. Number two is I'm on like a kind of a ranch, and we got fuckers that cruise around at night, like critters and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so we got a lot of coyotes and everything. And I know that the lizards are cool because they're asleep and they're hiding at night. But geckos, man, they'd be moving around and they'd be catching the attention of all kinds of stuff, and they'd tear the cages up. And
raccoons alone will wreak havoc, man. Raccoons are. I mean, you know the deal, man. They'll just unlock it. You'll think a person got in there.
Yeah. Yep. They're friggin' they're bad news. But yeah, I mean, I'm just venting about my whole situation. It's not a big deal. But yeah, man, keeping stuff inside right now has just been kind of just it's been a.
You'll know what to do, bro. You'll figure it out. You know, it's part of this lifelong reptile thing. You know, guys that have been keeping reptiles for life, they know these phases, right? Like things come and go, our lives change, our passion doesn't, but our style of keeping and things we do, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, always does. It's always evolving, man.
Totally. No, I
agree. You'll know what to do. The feeling will hit you. You listen to your gut.
Yeah, that's why I'm just kind of like hanging in there, trying to like still, you know, I'm gonna make a video here. I'm still keeping the good stuff because I know that. I mean, dude, there's days, you know, it happens in days. Some days I am out there. It's just that there's always this like time limit, I feel like, and I want to be able to sit out there and trip out on stuff and, you know, feed and actually watch it eat and make sure everything's doing well, and that'll come back. And I mean that's like, yeah, I mean that's what I'm lacking, is that I don't have the time to just really just sit out there and be stoked. Dude, I used to, like, one of my favorite things to do, obviously with geckos, is like I go out in my reptile room, freaking turn off all the lights, man, and have like a little flashlight and just cruise around, dude.
Fuck, I do it every night.
Dude, it's so fun, and I miss doing that, man. I need to do that. I'm gonna do that tonight.
How do the kids feel with the lizards? Do they interact with them, or do they enjoy them?
They're stoked. My 9-year-old daughter actually just my buddy Chris sent me a corn snake for her birthday, so she's got her first like reptile pet. They show a little bit of interest here and there, but like my 9-year-old's name is Maya. She had something at her school where this little science group like brought some snakes in, and they got to hold them and all this. And dude, I swear I've tried to have this kid hold my stuff and all this, and she's never given two shits, dude. And then she goes to school, sees her friends holding stuff, and she just like fell in love with holding like corn snakes and boa constrictors or ball pythons. So she came home and she's like, Dad, I want a corn snake for my birthday. And, you know, it just so happened to be her birthday, and I just so happened to be the reptile dude. So I, you know, hit up a buddy, and he was like, I got you. Sent me a super nice, you know, big old white corn snake that's real tame. And so she's like super pumped. And she's been.
That's awesome, right? That's got to be a proud moment for you, dude. No, yeah, that's like.
It's really cool.
What more could a father that keeps reptiles want? I mean, that's a dream come true right there. That's beautiful.
Yeah, she's really pumped on it. And
that's
the
awesome.
little one, actually, the little 3-year-old, man, she's a savage. Dude, I got this big ass tub of freaking king worms or super worms. I don't know which ones they are, the nasty ones that bite.
Yeah.
She has these tweezers, man. She just starts grabbing them, going to cages, and freaking putting them in. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, dude?
Nice.
That's awesome.
She just gets right to work. She only lasts about 10 minutes, man, but she's got her little routine. I've got these baby Agurnia Stokesi in these tubs, and she just starts feeding them, dude. Just pop in one in each one. She gets all stoked when they eat, but she
Hell
gets
yeah.
all bummed when they don't eat. She'll start having a fit, and I'm just like, dude, just let them, just be patient. But yeah, she helps. So both of them help. It's yeah, they're learning. They get
That's
pumped.
awesome, dude.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
said I just sent my youngest baby Chihuahua. You
oh,
know,
nice.
yeah, they were asking. Like my ex-wife was like, "Hey, no, he's really interested in getting a reptile. What do you have?" I was like, "I'll send him a Chihuahua."
Damn, that's a friggin' that's a pricey gift there. Aren't Chihuahuas still real expensive?
Eh,
You know, I'm like I said, my passion is not with Chihuahuas. My passion is with all this odd
Yeah.
shit. So no, Chihuahua, here you go. No, you want to show fears? We need to talk. We need to talk. Hold your breath. You know what I'm saying?
But Anthony, you were breeding the Chihuahua through all that craziness where they were going freaking for nuts money.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they were. I didn't really feed into it. I didn't spend anything more than like $1,000 on them. You know, between $1,000 and 2,500 is where I stayed. But
Yeah.
they're still outrageous, man. You know, some of these things are, 5, 6 grand. I mean, I got a life, I got a family. You know, I mean, I get it. Don't get me
I got
wrong, but
bills to pay.
6 grand to me, like, unfortunately, not going to a gecko. You know, I
Well, I
mean,
just
I'll
found
make
out.
it. I'll make them. I'll make them.
Yeah, that's 6 grand. That's what I'm saying. Breed those damn things and sell yours for
I'll
6 grand.
absolutely make them. I don't need to.
Yep. So we're coming up close to this end. And you want to hit him with the closer, man?
All right, so if you can't tell, Frank, I mean, my passion in this hobby, dude, is these kids, right? Like I remember being a kid and had the feeling I would get every time I held something new or saw a new reptile. I mean, it's like there was nothing better for me as a kid, man. And I take a lot of passion. I have a lot of passion for children coming up in this hobby and learning about reptiles and nature in general. You know, if you want to save the world, teach a child about it. But I always ask everybody this same question, and it's not to be offensive or that I don't have other questions. But if a 10-year-old kid came up to you and said, "Frank, you're my idol. Like I want to grow up and do everything you're doing. I want to follow in your footsteps." What advice would you give, say, a 10-year-old child?
I mean, the first thing I'd probably say was just like start reading those books, man. Read about reptiles. Learn everything you can about reptiles, and wherever you live, dude, just start going and finding those reptiles. Make yourself a list. What reptiles live in my area, and which ones can I find? And show that to your mom and dad. Show them how serious you are, and have them take you out to the field and try to go find some stuff. Buy the field guides when it's Christmas or your birthday. Ask for the field guides of your local area. I didn't do this when I was a kid, but like I know that there's like herpetological societies in different cities. Maybe see if you have one of those and try to get with like-minded people. It took me a long time to like meet my like actual like friends who were into reptiles. Like keeping reptiles can be a pretty like solo experience, but at the same time this was pre-Facebook. Now I feel like with Facebook, everybody's friends or everybody's enemies or everybody knows each other. But I mean, dude, back in the day, bro, like we didn't have nothing. We didn't have Reptiles magazine. We had nothing. And it was like, dude, I remember the first time I met somebody that was into reptiles that I like exchanged geckos with. Dude, he was selling something out of the newspaper, bro. And I would look in the newspaper classifieds and it said like freaking dude, it was crazy. It was a Homophilus back then. It was Homophilus boivini, which is Blazodactylus now. And I had a Europlatus and it said up for trade. And so I called the dude up and drove out to San Jose and freaking traded geckos with him. And I'm still one of my closest homies to this day, man, 40 years or 35 years later. But, make those connections. And also the other thing, man, and I just like, you don't need to make that many, find your people and those are your people, man. But it's at the end of the day, at least for me, like I like people. People are cool, whatever. But like, dude, this was about the reptiles. That's what it was about for me. So it's like learn about the reptiles and learn about the habitats. And I mean, if you want to start traveling and stuff like that, then you gotta be comfortable out in the field, man. Like I've been out in the field with dudes who just they don't cut it, bro. They're not into it. They don't want to be in the field. They want to keep shit in a cage, which is cool, but they don't want to be in the field. And that's fine. If you don't want to be in the field, that's cool. I don't. It's just like I want to be in the field. And so, you also need to come to that conclusion because you might think that it looks all cool and that it's rad and these videos are neat and like, You know, I can talk from experience about these different animals and stuff like that, but like, dude, it's fucking gnarly out there, dude. Like, it's work. It's
Yeah.
filthy, and it's hard work. It's tiring. I've gotten sick out there. I've gotten stung and bit and freaking like shit happens out there, bro. And you know, it's not terrible, but like, you know, it's not easy. And I feel like, you know, it's not for everybody. And so make sure that you want to do that. And I think a lot of people, it'll really, dude, you'll fall in love with it. It's amazing. Like I wish it was for everybody, but I don't think it is for every single person, but give it a shot. But yeah, for the 10-year-old kid, man, read your books. Just get, you know, you want to build a foundation. Anything you do in life, you want to have a solid foundation. And with reptiles, it starts with, you know, building books and talking to people that you respect and not getting too caught up in this Facebook nonsense with reptiles and stuff. And just, you know, read your books, learn about your local stuff, and use that as a stepping stone to whatever's next.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It took me 40 years to make some true friends, especially in the reptile hobby. So definitely understand that shit, man. But I'm an invert.
Everybody is not your friend. Put it that way. I feel like a lot of times, like
Sure.
right off the bat, when people first get into reptiles, I've seen it with some of my buddies that I've, you know, over the years we've become friends. But these new guys, they think they need to be friends with everybody, and they need to like know all these names, and they need to.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to, bro. This is about the reptiles, man. Learn your shit. Learn about the reptiles. Learn about the habitat. Learn about how to keep things, and freaking go from there, dude. And you know, friends will come. Friends will come to you if you're doing the right thing, man. Right people gravitate towards you, and
The knowledge is the common ground. You know, it's the common knowledge that brings the people together. You don't just go and know the people and automatically now you know all the information. It's a community of experience, knowledge, and desire, I guess, that draws certain people together. You know, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, the whole, and I feel like an asshole because I'm like absolute fucking nobody, but I don't accept like everybody's friend requests. Like, dude, I see that you keep geckos, but like we don't have anything. Like we're not like Facebook is my like just no disrespect, but we're not gonna be friends.
that's what I'm saying, man. Is you don't have to jump in on all that crap, dude. Like we've been doing this long before any of this shit was going down. Like I've been keeping these reptiles and shit like that long before Facebook. I'll be keeping them long after Facebook. So I mean, I'm friendly, dude. Like dude. You message me on Facebook, I'll hit you back. Like I don't ghost people. I'm a nice dude. But yeah, at the same time, it's like I can't be friends with everybody.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I'm absolutely down to, you know, like ask anybody who's ever messaged me. I'll always answer questions. I'm always down to freaking be stoked for you. If you got something new or you read something for the first time and you're showing me photos, I'll be your fan. Like I'm about it. I'm about people keeping reptiles. I'm about people doing the right thing. You know, people are going to hit me up, you know, bitching about some crested gecko morph's price. Then I'll just be like, nah, that's not me, bro. But,
oh man.
But, you know, in terms of the rare geckos and rare lizards and just breeding reptiles in general, like I'm always a fan of people doing the right thing with that.
Yeah.
Dope. So, you know, me, I always ask this question because I feel like everybody can learn from these. So what has been like your biggest failures in this hobby, you know, and what have you learned from those?
Man, I think like, and this even goes beyond the hobby, man. Like I'm like dude, a lot of times people say like, and I don't want to make this sound wrong for me because I have had some I've had some good successes in the hobby, but like that one saying about if you can't do, you teach. Like I feel like a lot of times, man, I need to like kind of practice what I preach. Like I'll be like saying like, oh, I do this and I do that and I breed this and it's so easy, and then I go out in my reptile room and something will be dead. I'll just be like, what the fuck, dude? And like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I've been doing this for so long that I don't need to follow all the little rules. You know what I'm saying? Like even what I was just saying about UVB, like, dude, I'm not a light guy. Like, I'm not like Ryan McVeigh or any of these dudes who study light. Like, who am I to say this shit? But I say it. But, you know, like, I need to, sometimes you know, like you get a little too big for your britches or whatever. Like, I need to sometimes slow down and remember to follow the steps because, you know, the reason why we've been successful in this hobby, keeping stuff and breeding stuff and doing this is because we followed those steps. And, yeah, sometimes I just get, you know, I've got too much stuff going on and I've got too many animals and I'm importing and exporting all this stuff for all these different people and all this, and I sometimes I skip steps, man, and I let things fall through the crack, and it always comes back and bites me in the ass. So if I was to say my biggest failures were probably just skipping steps. Sometimes I need to slow down and make sure that I know the steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the steps. I need to take the steps. Sometimes I want to get to the end result faster than it's possible. You know, a lot of these reptiles, man, they move slow, brother. They need a year to settle in, and they need another year to freaking become adult size, and they need to settle into their new cage that you just moved them, and you just did that, and I just want to breed them. You know, I want the eggs, I want the babies, I want to have the species done, I want to cross it off my list. And bro, I've lost thousands of dollars doing that shit, just trying to jump ahead too fast, throwing a pair of lizards together too fast, not using UVB when maybe I should have. Saying, fuck it, I can use sand because I've been doing this longer than anybody else, and I lose a lizard to impaction. You know, doing shit like that, like thinking you're too good for your shit, man. And I do that 100%. So I guess, yeah, man, don't forget the basics. I guess that's my thing.
These reptiles will humble you if you don't.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. All right, dude, man, it's been such an honor having you on this podcast, brother. You know,
That's been great.
Sure.
Like
For
I
sure,
said,
for sure.
like there was probably maybe 4 people that I was like, yo, I need these people on there, and you were one of those 4.
Yeah, you were on the list from the beginning, man. Absolutely. I mean, just do some super inspirational stuff, dude. It's like something me and Jay both want to see more people do, man. You know, don't just keep things in a tank because you can. Go explore the world, man. You know, learn. There's so much more to just keeping something. Learn, and you really put off that vibe of education, and just it's so much more than just keeping an animal. That's like the smallest part. Like it's just a very,
Your
very, very
field
inspirational.
experience is just invaluable. Like you can have knowledge, but when you have that field knowledge, that's like just totally invaluable to where, like, you know, you just can't put anything on that. Like it's, man, thank you again.
That's why I tell people, man, do it. Freaking do it. Go do it.
Yeah. Even when I was like I said, when I was in Nigeria for like a year or some change, and I was on the base, I would go out on that base every night looking for animals. Yeah.
So
Yep. I got to experience wet seasons, dry seasons, all that stuff. So, you know, and it just helped out so much on knowing how to, make, or not even make an enclosure, just give them those parameters that they need in order to survive in our little cages that we keep them in.
Yeah, that's perfect for your homophilus, man, because that's like, I mean, that's that band, that Central African band where they come from. So like,
yeah,
use that. I mean, like, use that knowledge, implement that.
Yeah,
that wet hot season that you like. That's literally that equilateral band. They're from, just east of there.
Yeah.
So line that shit up.
Yeah. All right, you want to plug the YouTube, man? It's not dead. We know it's not dead.
Yeah, it's Reptilian Diaries, and if anyone's listening, it's a cool channel. I'm proud of it. It's not something that it will ever be that I'm trying to like make a living on, or I'm trying to get you to subscribe to, or any shit like that. If you want to watch me go chase lizards and you see that I've done an episode on something that you keep, chances are you might be able to learn something from it, at least see the habitat. And yeah, that's what it is. It's nothing more. I'm not trying to twist your arm, but I enjoy watching them. And
it's worth it, guys. It's definitely worth it, man. Some of the coolest, most first-hand stuff on the internet, man. It's like watching it's just go check it out, guys. I promise you won't regret it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And just don't. The one thing you can't expect is any sort of schedule, because they come out when I can.
There you go. Awesome. All right, everybody.
Do you have anything else coming up? Do you have any like talks? Are you doing anything else that you want the people to know about? Anything?
I don't know. I just had a little tiny paper come out about a snake in Herpetological Review. That was my last little paper. We were down in West Texas and we found a freaking giant skelopendrid eating a tantilla, which is a species of snake.
Oh, shit.
And it's funny because the species of snake is called a centipede-eating snake. And we found the centipede-eating snake getting smoked by a centipede.
Yeah.
And so it was cool, man. You just, you shoot the photo, you document everything that happened. You write up a little paper and you send it in, and it gets published, and then it's in a peer-reviewed paper where scientists can use your data. They can, cite your paper and all that stuff. So it's pretty dope. So that happened. In terms of like talks, I don't think I have. I haven't. No, not right now. That Argentina trip's gonna be sick though. I'm gonna make videos on that.
I can't wait for that one.
Maybe another Australia trip coming. I don't know. I might do some Caribbean stuff. Maybe this year if I have time. But yeah, man, it's been wild with the kids and stuff. Trying to just keep the reptiles going. I'll be doing a September shipment again. I normally do 4 shipments a year from Europe. Yeah, I've shipped Jay's geckos before.
I definitely wanted to say thank you for that one, man, because you helped me out a lot on that one.
Yeah, I didn't do March. Just didn't have it in me. But I'm gonna do September. So if you guys got stuff to ship from Europe.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested in importing anything, right? How do you? What they just reach out to you and you assist them through the whole process?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, I mean that whole thing started also just as like a couple homies freaking trying to send lizards back and forth to each other, and kind of blew up.
Cool.
But it's another thing where I'm not trying to let that go too big. I don't want to have too many boxes. Nightmare to do it, but it's worth it. A lot of happy people. People are super stoked when they get their animals. I get some animals. Everybody's happy. So, but yeah, we do. They can hit me up on Facebook and go from there. And we do non-sighting stuff. So it's not too late. You can still do Rhacodactylus. All the different New Cal stuff still works. I don't think they'll let you do Trichurhynchus anymore. Trichurhynchus, New Caledonia sent out some memo to all the freaking wildlife offices talking about Trichurhynchus, so they won't let us ship those anymore. But Bichianus, Chahua, any of the Gyrodactyloids and Levi and all that stuff's fine.
Cool.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, everybody, have a great night, morning, afternoon. Whenever you listen to this, please like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Have a great week, guys. Stay weird. Later.
Yo, creeping in the dark, life nocturnal, dark and dark, both paths arboreal to terrestrial. Sticky toes gripping forest students that explore. Listen close, Gecko podcast, that's knowledge galore. Reptile talk, host Anthony and Jason. Trade secrets flow, no time wasted. From tropics to town, it's sight raining. With every chat, reptile game changing. Escaping heat waves, tan under rays, desert sand echoes, sun blazing days. Little hustlers, camouflage a maze, catch them speaking wisdom, the wild on replay. Reptile talk, host Anthony and Jason. Trade secrets flow, no time wasted. From tropics to town, it's sight raining. With every chat, reptile game changing. Unseen, master of the skies, chameleon dream. Lizard tails flip, script getting clean. Gecko exchange, true reptile fiends. Reptile talk, host Anthony and Jason. Trade secrets flow, no time wasted. From tropics to town, it's sight raining. With every chat, reptile game changing. Scuttling through the leaves.